Yes, guys, it is your boy Jack and Phil here at the Irish Hotspur doing the watch along today. Josh will be joining us soon. David is going to be having a bit of that kind of birthday dinner celebration, hosted by the mother, which I think is honestly very nice of her. And I think he does deserve a little bit of time off from this watch along and whatnot. It's been a hectic, week, and then we're going to international break where we work even harder. But Phil, that's us. How you keeping?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you, Jack. Yeah, looking forward to the game. Not long now. Yeah, it's a little surprised at the lineup, but the one thing I've said, and I've said it so many times now, is you can't knock the guy's record, so you have to trust him. So if he says he's going to play such and such a player, in Conte we trust.
In Conte we trust for sure. Maybe just quickly, what are your thoughts on maybe some of the inclusions, especially Ben Davies?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty critical of him the other night, but I guess if I'm trying to put it into his play, he's probably started that off in training and doesn't want to be chopping and changing. He's only had 2 days training. You've got him on the left where he kind of plays for Wales. He's the only kind of left-footed centre-back that we have or in that position. So maybe he's just gone with a little bit of experience for now and... Yeah,
maybe he just really likes left-footed center backs. Maybe he just really likes left-footed center backs. But let's get some people into the building here. Let's welcome them in quickly. Dark Sun G is joining us. Big up, Dark Sun G. He says, I'm expecting a 5-2 or 5-3 because of the 2 players that overstayed their welcome. Come on, son. Brace from Kane as well. Reggie or Real get that other goal as well. I mean, I want Reggie or Real to score so bad, Dark Sun G. Certainly so bad, honestly, especially in the likes of Sonny. We all know he's guaranteed a brace or at least a goal sometimes. The man's on absolute fire, Mr. Reliable. Jay Coe's in the building, and he says this is the game Sonny will come through with the hat trick. Yeah, he's overdue a hat trick, but at the same time, he's been lifting us up. He's been carrying us on his back, for the majority of this season. So I have no doubt that Sonny will do something spectacular for us. Roma just lost 3-2 to Venezia. Yeah, things are not going over so well. And Jose Lanchamu, but big yourself up. Zanuska's in and joined in the building, and she says, hopefully this will be a great game. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. A lot more nervous now, Zanuska, that a certain someone is starting in the back 5. I am a little bit more nervous than I was going into it. John Fitzpatrick saying, can someone tell what channel the game has been televised on in the UK? John, fortunately, I cannot because I believe there is no game that it's being televised on in the UK. So to the best of my knowledge, and maybe hit up David or maybe Josh on Instagram for maybe a link or something, or hit me up on Instagram as well, or sorry, on Twitter as well if you would like to get some sort of link, but I can't put any links in here. But hopefully you understand. Just maybe message me on Twitter or something, or David or someone, or the big Irish Hotspur family group chat. Whatever it is, please just message us and we'll provide for you. Alfie Gosling saying, or Gosling saying 2-1 Tottenham, Son and Kane. Love to see that. Love to hear that. Jason Fox is also in the building. But yeah, he's just informing him, yep, it's not on TV today, which is very ridiculous if you ask me. Old Soul 53 says, big up lads and ladies, about to tuck in for the Sunday meal with the family, but this will be playing in the background. Good to see Old Soul. That's great to see, my man. John Fitzpatrick says, cheers, Jason. There you are, Celery Agent, Harris Army. Big up, Celery Agent. Thank you for joining us as well, Celery Agent. Honestly, it's good to see you back. It's good to see you back. Parra Miguel Escoberto saying, Vamos Spurs, come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cup Army. Big up, Parra Miguel Escoberto. Hopefully you're keeping well, my man. Hopefully you're keeping well as well. But everybody else, I just want to say I'm going into this a bit nervous about the whole Ben Davies inclusion, but I want to be proved wrong. I want him to absolutely stun me. Lightwork is in the building. Pick up Lightwork. The regulars here as well. Daros here saying, hate seeing Davies starting, but understandable as Conte hasn't had enough time to get to know the guys. I think that's it. And also maybe just in a back 3, he just prefers someone that is like a left-footed, left-sided center back, just plain and simple. It is something we have missed. Kelly JTV says, Davies again, how? Big up again, Kelly J. Big up again. I don't know. Come on, you Spurs. Let's get the win. There you go, David. He's joining us here. Sorry, Ghazali. I'll say Ghazali there. Might not hear a lot, to be honest, guys, but hanging out just to enjoy this together. Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is. I bet it sounds like you're at Goodison Park. Sounds like you're at Goodison Park. Come on, you Spurs. Let's get one of the Conte train. All aboard the Conte train. All aboard it. It's certainly the best express train in the Premier League, my man. And then AE. Yeah, so guys, again, maybe please don't try to put in any links or anything or any names for links. It would be greatly appreciated. It's just, doesn't really help David and I out, if you guys understand. But maybe quick thoughts on the game while I'm just watching the guys kind of roll out here. Antonio Conte is giving, a big salute to the crowd again. Even at Goodison Park, he's getting a big standing ovation from the Spurs fans. Phil, I mean, what are your thoughts on this game? Score predictions, anything kind of crazy that's maybe on your mind in terms of this?
No, I can't see us keeping a clean sheet. I think we'll concede one, but I'm going 2-1 today. 2-1.
There we are. That's good to see. I like a 2-1. Honestly, that's honestly nice and simple, nice and maybe kind of nerve-wracking, which is what we're used to as well. I am going to welcome in Josh, the Tottenham guy, into the building as well. He will also be joining us. Josh, how you keeping, my man? And also your score prediction going into this, considering also, a certain someone is starting in the back line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely great. Thanks for having me on again. My score prediction, it will be 3-1, I think.
3-1. I enjoy
3-1. And Tash is going for 2-1.
2-1. That's a bit nerve-wracking. That's probably what we're used to, is what I said. Something.
Tash,
we're used to the heart rate. We're used to the greater heart rates as Spurs fans. But there we are, everybody, as we are watching Harry Kane and Sonny.
Tash,
they're giving each
other. Just explain why you've gone 2-1.
I don't know. Just 2-1. Tottenham's got to beat them, whatever.
Yeah. Clueless Spurs fan, by the way. Clueless football fan. She's giving it a good. She's giving it a good crack. She's giving it a good crack.
So she's saying 2-1 to Everton then?
No, she's saying 2-1 to Spurs. We have to beat Everton.
Spurs will get beaten.
No, we have to beat Everton.
Oh, right.
Either way, is what she said.
We have to. It's absolutely crucial. It's absolutely vital, everybody. Don Anthony, big yourself up, John. Hopefully you're keeping well. And also, thank you for joining us. Big up Tottenham Tantrum. He's joining, and he's saying big up to Phil. Big up Tottenham Tantrum. It's good to see you, my man. John Fitzpatrick is joining us. Just put a 200 on Spurs. There you go, John. Honestly, high rolling, high stakes there. High roller. Just going to take a sip of coffee. Daniel Anderson is also joining us. Thank you for joining us, Daniel Anderson. Really appreciate all the support. And Big Papa saying if the players are good enough, they will break into the team. If not, they will be shipped out. He's using Davies to just shame players like Tanguy into raising his level. Pretty sure Ben Davies is, not really an indication of, whether Tanguy is playing or not. I think it's more like, Lucas Moura probably playing ahead of Tanguy is maybe more of a statement, to him and things like that. At the end of the day, he does have to put 3 center backs out there. I think it says something more about maybe Davinson Sanchez. It says something more about other center backs, in the lineup that Ben Davies is starting over them. That's what I think it says, but maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe I'm wrong. Island Life is also joining us. Big yourself up, Island Life. And he says, come on, you Spurs, big yourself up. But they're standing in solidarity with the fallen soldiers of years past, of wars past. So very, very commendable at Goodison Park. I didn't know that it was this time of year that you guys did that as well.
11th of November. So it's the 11th minute of the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh.
Remembrance Sunday is always the Sunday just before it, so it's always this weekend. But obviously, the date ever so slightly varies.
So there we are. Now I can know now for the rest of time, and it's very, very commendable that you.
Yeah, so I will be going down to my local British Legion at some point on the 11th, because they do the parade on the 11th, and I'll be paying my tribute to all the soldiers.
Guess I'm having my own moment of silence. Very nice to see. It's also very good that you guys do that. Very honorable.
Oh yeah, they've also got the tribute to Walter Smith, haven't they? And it's like, yes, they've got to respect him. He was their manager, but you don't want anything, and you don't want them having any extra incentive to try, do you?
Maybe certainly not. I guess though, same thing. No, I think when Jimmy Greaves, passed, I don't remember us, using much incentive as, that was the case as well. So, that is very unfortunate for them, though. Very legendary manager for them. Very legendary personality. Seemed to live for the most part not too long of a life, which is kind of sad also as well, I will say. So big up to Everton, especially also to the Toffees. Wow, Who's their kind of side manager? Who's their assistant manager? Everton, that guy with the really big kind of
Duncan
accent.
Ferguson, isn't it?
Duncan Ferguson. Yeah, he seems to be very emotional towards it, which is also nice to see. That's also nice to see.
Oh, you let us know when you kick off, Jack, because ours has just kicked off. So I've just
There we
paused
go.
it.
I will. I guess they're taking the knee, so you guys must be way ahead.
Yeah.
Yep, I just kicked off.
Yeah, I've just kicked off as well. 6 seconds in, I am.
Cuti Romero playing it out wide to Højbjerg. Højbjerg slips it inside to Emerson. A little bit of one-touch football here, though. It's looking very nice. That's a foul, referee. Honestly, I don't want to see another Vitesse match, please, referee. Don't want to see another man handling Harry Kane. No more violence towards Harry, please.
Is that Andros Townsend rocking the big bald head?
No, I think he has. I think he.
No. What's your timing, Jack?
Yeah, I'll let you know. 33, 34, 35,
Oh,
36.
40, 41, 42, 43.
You're a few seconds ahead, Josh. If you're able to pause for like just a brief second, that would be appreciated. But if not, we're a few seconds within each other, so it's not.
Right. Count me onto the 1 minute mark. I'll pause at 1 minute and count me in.
Okay, we'll do.
Right. I'm paused.
1 now.
There we go.
Perf. Out of bounds. Throw to Everton on the sideline here for, I think, Seamus Coleman. They played Anthony Gordon for this one, which is interesting. I kind of expected it to be Alexander Iwobi. So I almost got the whole Everton lineup correct. But the 3-4-3, I mean, how do you guys feel about that? I know you guys did your formation, kind of picks, and a lot of you kind of also went for, I think, a version of the 3-4-3. But, how do you guys feel about it? Is this maybe the right formation for now, or is it, maybe something we might switch to later, being a 3-5-2? Because at the moment we're kind of going through kind of what he did at Chelsea, which is that 3-4-3.
Yeah, it kind of varied. Obviously, you've clearly got the 3 centre backs. You've clearly got the 2 wingers. It's the 3 in midfield, and probably for me, most importantly, is I don't know where Mora's playing. Because he does like to do the 2 up top. So if he's doing that, then you have Kane and Son obviously up top, and then there's like a gap or a space in behind them, which is like your cam, which is where I'm hoping Mora is, because I don't see him out as right wing because you've got Emerson there. So just be interesting to see as the game sort of progresses. But you've got what they've also got with this, which is really good. It's a lot of flexibility, haven't they? So they can switch it around. It can be a 5-3-2. It can be a 3-5-2. There's all sorts of combinations. And as he gets his message through to the players more, it'll become better because they'll be more drilled. Yeah,
that's great analysis there, Phil. I would also probably say that what we were missing last time against Vitesse was anybody in the attack trying to link the midfield to the attack, and it was kind of, we were asking, it felt like a lot of Skippy and Højbjerg to do all that link kind of play when we needed someone else to be there to be able to link the whole system together, the whole team together. Very sketchy pass there from Højbjerg that is almost taken away by Richarlison. Cuti Romero finds Lucas, who plays it out wide.
Don't know if you noticed that, Jab, but as they went up front and the ball was being passed with the central defenders for Everton, Kane and Son were definitely almost in a 2. They were on the same on the same level on the pitch. So it does, it almost looks, whether it's 5-3-2 or the other way. I think the 2 of them they're 2 strikers.
Maybe in a defensive shape. That's what we're kind of going for.
Yeah.
3.5 minutes in almost, and it's like we're struggling to find our shape a little bit. Like we're struggling to keep the shape. I'm noticing that Reggie is slightly pushed up a bit further than what Emerson is, and we're kind of seeing the midfield. It's like a slanted kind of formation. I don't know what to think of it. I don't know whether this is a case of we're struggling or this is the tactic we're going with. We're trying to throw them off a little bit. I don't know. I can't quite work it
Sometimes
out.
I don't really like to interpret too much into the first 10 minutes, of games, because I feel like, teams are kind of just running about, high off of the adrenaline of, the match starting and everything. Things can look a bit erratic. Maybe.
Look, why is Kane there? Why is Kane on the left-hand side? Stay in the middle. Go up, push into the box. Stay in the middle on the front. You got Son on the left for a reason. You don't need to be there.
William Kelly joined us saying 3-0 to Spurs today. Pick up William Kelly. Honestly, it's good to see the optimism. It's good to see, the joy back in your heart again, when it comes to Spurs. Hopefully Antonio Conte can give you that. And I know you're a part of the Conte Express train, so big yourself up, William Kelly. And also thank you for your score prediction. Anyone else, feel free to put your score predictions in there. But also, just sit back and hopefully enjoy this game. Bit of a sketchy pass in there from Reggie, and also I don't know why really Ben Davies let it go across his body, but he's able to recover it there.
The other thing you've got with being at Goodison is quite a narrow pitch, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there's definitely not, you can see that there's nowhere near the space that they would have at Tottenham.
Mm-hmm. Damari Gray carrying the ball up the pitch. He's very good at that, I will say. Wow, what a tackle by Cody Romero. Absolutely sitting. Oh.
Just lost my stream here, guys. Be careful.
Yeah, mine's in and out. I think whoever it is just shot. So
yeah, I think it was Ben Godfrey with the shot from the centre back position. But
why do centre backs do that? There's not many centre backs that you can. Company's probably the exception with his rocket, but there's not many centre backs that you sit there and you think, yeah, go on, have a go, have a go.
I'm on 553.
I'm on 545, so maybe
I can't pause this one. So
okay, maybe I guess you'll have to contain yourself a bit. But
yeah.
Bit of erratic passing, I will say, sometimes from Spurs here. But hopefully we'll find ourselves into the game. We are struggling to keep possession. It's actually both teams are really struggling to keep possession, if I were being honest. It's just a bit kind of back and forth here, just flying tackles.
I'm just looking at Mora there, and just before that ball was passed, and he almost looked like either like an inside centre or sort of out towards the right wing. So he doesn't fit, what I thought.
He seems to just really drift in and out, play very, kind of inside and outside, likes to drift in and out, so it's probably the case that he is basically drifting between a 3-4-3 and a 3-5-2, probably, or a 3-4-1-2.
Tells in the comments, if you hit me up on Twitter, Josh RG and HD, I'll set you up with something. Just hit me up on Twitter and I'll send you something.
And the first scoreline of the day is through, and Saka has scored for Arsenal. So Arsenal are winning. But then Everton, there's the second score of the day. VAR, boom.
There we go. Bit of spoiling of the party. But Andres Townsend in here with the free kick. He won the free kick for them. They play a bit short to Fabian Delph, ball in behind. That was very scary. I will say, Romero let that go, and Michael Keane put it over the bar. A bit kind of scary, bit of an Eric Dyer moment, I would say, from Cuti Romero letting that go over. You just sometimes have to clear your lines. And, because you don't always know what's behind you. I'm certain Man United, learned their lesson, against Man City with that.
That was unreal, that one, wasn't it? That's the second goal. I was watching it, and it was like, I just wondered why they all started huddling together, because I just didn't even see the goal go in. Just didn't see anything at all. And then suddenly it was like shock. It was shocking defending there and shocking from De Gea.
Yeah. I mean, you think that they're paid to be defenders, Phil. You think that they're paid to be defenders, at the end of the day.
So defend?
That's what I would say. Just, whatever happened to no nonsense defending. Lucas Moura receiving the ball up here, picking it up, drifting a bit inside. Cuti Romero is the one playing it to him. Cuti Romero plays it back to Eric Dyer. First time's it to Ben Davies. Ben Davies looking up, spending a bit of time on the ball. Pings it to Sonny here, who's pushed in the back. Sir, I mean, honestly, you can't be trampling over our Sonny now. I mean, this is starting to get a bit naughty here, referee. And he's also giving him nudges in the back as well.
I've just got it from a reliable source that Aston Villa are looking at Nuno as a replacement for Dean Smith. So you heard that here first.
Turn back to the Premier League. A lot of people said he needed to probably go elsewhere, though, to get his confidence back.
God, have you seen that on Sun there?
Oh my God, that's what I thought I saw. Actually, that's what I thought I saw. He actually is trampling him, and he stuck his own cleat into his side there.
When it first happened, I was like, "Oh, come on, son, just get up." But actually, the guy stood on
Where's
him.
VAR? Where's VAR when you need him as well? Like referee. This is
Well,
again though. You would see that. I swear, every other team you would see that be reviewed. You would
yeah.
actually see that be reviewed.
Well,
But
it's
apparently for us,
John Moss in the VAR, isn't it? Because Dave told us on the stream this morning.
that is
So
actually shocking that he's getting away with that. Not even a card there. That is actually that.
No.
I mean, I don't know what reckless endangerment is anymore. Actually, at this rate, I really don't. I mean, honestly, you can't see much worse than that.
to not even have a card. Okay,
Not even I mean, I get it that maybe he didn't see what happened there, the referee, but the fact that the VAR there is there with all of his screens, there to see that happen, it's just shocking. He must be falling asleep probably during this game. Maybe I had too many drinks last night or something. The VAR referee, he's probably just fall asleep on the keyboard. Antonio Conte, I hope, at one stage if that happens again, Antonio Conte might get his first yellow card, which I will be absolutely delighted.
Do you know what? We've seen more from Antonio Conte directing the players in the last 15 seconds than we saw for Nuno in his entire Tottenham career, because the guy just doesn't stop. It's barking instructions all the time. So as a Tottenham player is you're not going to let yourself drop off, because if you drop off, the boss is going to be on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a different mentality. And yes, you could look at it and be like, do you really have to tell them, or do you have to do this? But the answer to that, we all know, is absolutely. But fair shout to him. I love that about him, that just nothing passes him by.
I do like that. I'm also noticing as well, though, that Cuti Romero is playing that right-sided center back. It is Eric Dyer playing more of the center of the back three, which I do find interesting. And maybe because he learned his lesson with Eric Dyer, it seemed like Eric Dyer really struggled playing the right center back position. And so we had to, make do with Romero, I guess, switching gears to maybe the right-sided center back, which is a bit unfortunate. You don't like to see us having to cater to, worser players. But, sometimes I kind of see, what Conte has to deal with. But I don't really get, why does Ben Davies make these overlapping runs? I actually seriously do not understand, especially if he is just going to blindly run into the box. It's not even a playable ball as well. Like, why does he have to blindly run into the box? Yellow card here for Reggie. I mean, referee.
That's a tough challenge, though. He shouldn't be doing that. That's reckless. He's got to avoid getting careless fouls like this. He only needs to get 2 more yellows and he's suspended.
Yeah, usually, they're going to eventually get to that stage. But Ben Godfrey, I would say, is certainly somehow also getting away with a yellow there. So I would say, referee's quick to give that a yellow, but apparently Ben Godfrey says, free to go, I will say.
Do we, I'm going to ask the impossible question, and it was directly for you, Jack. When the hell is Ryan Sessegnon going to be back training, fit and ready to play? Because he is an absolute ready-made replacement for a Reguilon when they want to swap it around. But do we know anything?
I just am starting to be convinced that Ryan Sessegnon just doesn't exist, Phil. I actually think he's a figment of my imagination. I think he's been injured so long these days that I'm actually starting to question whether Ryan Sessegnon is actually a football player, and maybe he's just been some made up player in the team sheets. I genuinely don't know. That's why I kind of have given up on him. I know that everybody wants to give the guy lots of time, but clearly he's given himself lots of times with how much he's being injured and whatnot, and then also with how much he's injured. Like, can we really expect him to be reliable then? It's the next question. So I think we honestly cut our ties with him. I really do.
Well, I'm undecided there, but the only thing I would say is I remember watching an interview with Harry Redknapp, or it was somebody. He was talking about Harry Redknapp, and basically when Gareth Bale first came to the club, he was exactly the same. He was in, he was out, he was injured. Literally whatever he did, he just couldn't get fit. And Redknapp went on a different view with him, and they said what had happened is they tackled him in training, and it was quite a tough tackle. And I think by the sounds of it, they would have all gone over and mollycoddled him. And Harry Redknapp was just like, leave him alone, let him get over it. And he kind of toughened up through some tough training sessions, and then Bale became the player that Bale is. And that's what would, and we do it a lot as Tottenham, don't we? We have these people that we think Sessegnon's going to be the next Gareth Bale, but none of us are convinced. But I don't know if I'd want to take the risk on shipping him out yet.
Maybe not take the risk on shipping him out. Maybe that's a bit harsh. But we do need a new left back, and Dark Sun G has said that lots of times, which is why we need a new left back. You can't rely on Ryan Sessegnon being available, and you can't rely on also Ben Davies at all in any situation whatsoever. So, that's maybe a way to go about it. But Region here out wide, Region with a beautiful bit heavy actually there. Looked like it was going to be a good touch, but Ben Godfrey, who's actually maybe a bit pacier than he looks, was able to. Lloris with actually a very classy header over to Ben Davies. Harry Kane with the first time almost slipped in Sonny there. That would have been absolutely beautiful. Skippy just getting stuck. Plays it back though to Richarlison. Ben Davies fouling Richarlison there by the looks of it. Playing on. Everton now recycling the ball back through the back four. Goes over to Michael Keane. Michael Keane finds Luca Digne. Now it's being recycled again back to Pickford. We are kind of like, we're not pressing them too high, but we're also not, it's kind of, it seems to be kind of that situation where we like to trap them, in certain moments, kind of you choose and you pick and choose when to press, it seems like by the looks of it. But now we are 15 minutes in. I'm 15 minutes and 20 seconds in. And for the most part, there hasn't been a shot on goal. There really hasn't been, very much, excitement so far, but hopefully we'll get into it a bit more. Hopefully we'll create something. We have been playing very quick, first time passing, which is, very different to what we saw under Nuno, and that's for sure. So hopefully, eventually we'll just find the right link up play, find, the right combinations, and then we'll slip somebody in behind.
So we found our composure a little bit now. Like we're starting to control the possession a little bit more. Nothing drastic. I mean, the first 15 minutes. Let me pull up the stats for the first 15 minutes.
But Everton, when you think about it, they are at home. They've really struggled at home this season. Obviously, with the passing of Walter Smith as well, they're going to really try to fight for this one. So you do kind of think about it, they are going to maybe be less of the team that they've been this season. They have been a team that really has sat deep a lot this season, but I feel like, that's not really something that they're going to probably do too much in the first half, especially at their own stadium when you think about it.
Yeah. First 15 minutes in, Everton have had 2 shots with 1 on target. With Spurs, no shots and no shots on target. We've controlled the possession slightly, 65% to 35%, 129 passes for us, 69 to them. We've got an 82% pass accuracy, whereas I've only got 73. 4 fouls committed by us and 5 fouls committed by them. So, I mean, it's not the strongest of starts. But there's still room for improvement, and hopefully, I'm just hoping that we start to pick things up a little bit.
Yeah, I will say that was a bit disappointing from Harry Kane and Sonny were very deep in their own half there. Ball across the 6, kind of to no one there. But they're very deep in their own half. And Harry Kane, once he played it back to Son, just didn't make any sort of run, to help him out, which is definitely frustrating to see. But yeah, the Spurs are very deep in their own half at the moment.
You just don't want Everton to get any. Well,
beautiful touch by Harry. Yeah. Oh, what the Højbjerg with the surging run. Lucas Moura here driving. Lucas Moura, please. Lucas. Oh, that was honestly beautiful footwork there.
I would suggest from that, Jack, you and I have caught up.
Seems like we're right in the same position, more or less. But Lucas Moura actually doing quite brilliantly there, actually, to get the shot off. A good block, I believe, by Ben Godfrey, who I actually really do rate. Actually, Ben Godfrey, I really like him. I think he makes Michael Keane a whole lot better, just like how Yeremina makes him look a whole lot better. But Harry Kane, though, honestly, was spectacular hold-up play by Harry Kane. That was spectacular hold-up play.
And he did that such a lot the other night.
That's a high boot, isn't it? Okay, never mind.
Harry Kane driving, surging here.
True.
Bit of a long shot. Sonny.
Reggie's
got to be a bit more composed there.
We're starting to find. We're picking
Harry?
it out.
Oh, Harry, take it on your left, son. Take it on your left.
We're picking them out a little bit. We are picking them out.
Oh, we found ourselves in dangerous positions.
I was going to say the difference in the last 3 minutes is like Tottenham from the first half of the other night.
That's a foul. Yeah.
Ben Davies making that very sketchy overlapping run, which I never understand. It's almost like he actually just puts on like, racer goggles or like horse goggles and just starts running, into the box where he's actually not even capable of being played as well. That's what else I don't get about it. You don't have Ben Davies making these runs because the guy doesn't know how to get forward. So why on earth would he know how to intelligently make a run from the back line? It seriously sketches me out at times.
He hasn't gone forward in his whole Tottenham career. And the few times that he does, he's not, he really is a defender. He's an absolute defender. Whereas Reguilon is a wing back. He can do both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think what we're missing in this squad is someone the like of Kessie who can bring that another attacking dimension. Højbjerg doesn't really seem to be doing much. He's given away a couple of sloppy passes today. Far.
He's surging forward though as well, and has actually found himself making runs into very intelligent positions. I will actually say I think Højbjerg, it's kind of been a mixed bag so far this match. I would say it's been a mixed bag because at the same time he is surging forward and is actually running through the channels at times as well. So certainly been a bit of a mixed bag.
Is there any more news on Kessie, or has that gone a little bit quieter now?
Right, so Kessie, AC Milan are looking to sign him into a new contract.
Yeah,
there's nothing that's come from that front. However, if he does leave on a free in the summer, Bayern Munich are currently leading the race to sign him. It's not Tottenham anymore. It's Bayern Munich that are currently leading the race to sign Kessie in the summer if he goes out on a free.
But are we also then looking at Winston
McKennie?
McKennie,
yeah.
I was going to say
I think that would be a decent alternative. I just feel like with Weston McKennie, he wouldn't be what Kessie is, and that's what I think the problem is. It's just he's not really a great passer of the ball. In my belief, Weston McKennie, that's a bit again just sloppy from Højbjerg. But Weston McKennie, he's not the greatest passer of the ball. He's not really able to fill that tempo setter role, which we need. We definitely need somebody to fill that tempo setter role for us. But he is kind of an all-action midfielder. He does know how to get forward. He does know how to, make runs into the box and, also even score goals. He can score goals as well. So, it could be interesting. It could be interesting, having him.
Am I the only
one? I wouldn't complain.
Am I the only one? Am I the only one that thinks that we need a new goalkeeper as well at some point?
I think everybody's thought that, that's what maybe at least we thought with Galini, because, last season we were all terrified when we realized that Joe Hart was in fact our backup goalkeeper, which is, I still might want to think that Galini is better than Joe Hart. As much as I don't like Galini so far, I still would like to say he's probably better than Joe Hart.
We're still linked with the guy from West Brom, aren't we? Is it Sam Johnson?
Yeah, Sam Johnston would definitely be a big improvement on Galini and certainly could take the reins away from him. And especially with relegated goalkeepers or, Harry Kane, though, looking for somebody, finding Reguilon on the wing here.
Come on.
Reguilon puts a ball in the box. Emerson! Oh, Emerson almost got that goal, Dark Sun G. He almost got that goal there. He's got to do a bit better.
He should
kind of flinch on it.
There.
He seemed to kind of tense up when he hit it, actually, Emerson. But he's making a very good run into the back post there.
Come off the back of their defender. That's a corner kick. It should be anyway.
Oh, went off Damari Gray's back.
Nobody picked
that was on goal. That was going to be on target.
Goal.
Don't tell me they give it a goal kick as well. I mean, that's just
they gave it as a goal kick. Silly.
Sometimes they swear with the referees these days. With us, I really don't get it anymore. Like, how many examples do you need?
How long would it take John Moss to be going, no, it's a corner? And I get it. At full pelt, we all said the same. Should have hit it on target. But actually,
it was on target.
It was on target.
And he actually was looking like he was nodding it into the ground, actually, as well. So it probably was going to be quite clinical, actually. Maybe he could have finished it. It seemed like he was doing the right thing, actually. Emerson, credit to Emerson, actually. He seemed to do the right thing, actually.
What is that? What is that pass? Who was that?
That was Reguilon there. It's definitely a bit sloppy. Sonny holding it up here. Højbjerg finds being surrounded and also thrown to the ground by Seamus Coleman. Jesus, as well as Seamus Coleman. I mean, I would not be talking to Højbjerg like that. He'll be going after you later. He's going to definitely lay one on you later. It's a bit rash by Seamus Coleman.
Dave said yesterday on one of the pump up shows that he was, this ref's given out average 6 yellow cards a game. So, He's
I mean,
certainly
we saw
holding back
Cudi
at the
Romero
moment.
get a yellow card for that against West Ham for the exact same thing that Seamus Coleman
Yeah.
just did. So seriously, I don't get it. That's a good tackle by Allen, actually, to be fair. But Lucas is finding himself in good pockets of space. He just needs to maybe play that final ball and also release
Do you
some
see
of these
what I
players
mean?
a
He's
bit
like
sooner.
right in the centre circle now, so he's almost like he's dropped a little bit, but he's sort of I thought there he was kind of like the number 10, like top of the triangle with Højbjerg and Skip behind him.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think he's just playing a bit of that free role. And when I had that conversation with you guys, I believe on Friday night, I think one of you guys mentioned that where in this formation he's kind of expected to play a bit of that free role. Something to compare it to would be when Antonio Conte was coaching Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard basically played that sort of role on the left. Maybe we'll see basically the same thing with Lucas on the right. Sonny here. Plays it wide to Emerson, a bit short on the pass.
Look at the space he had. Oh, Romero. Oh, what?
Honestly, that's beautiful to see, actually, from Royale. Honestly, Seamus Coleman, again, referee did the same thing there. So he better not be reaching for a card, I swear. It's actually beautiful.
How was he supposed to pull out of that?
Actually, what is it? It's Lucas Digne running into him, actually.
Yeah, if anything, should be a free kick to Emerson.
Pinged long. Actually, very dangerous pass, actually, by Ben Godfrey by the looks of it. Seemed way offsides, though, by the looks of it.
He just took him out. That's a shit. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, that is a yellow. That is a yellow. That has to be ref. Fabian Delph, I mean, seriously, mate. I mean, honestly, you can't be appealing to him like that. I mean, he's right in front of him as well, Delph. I mean, come on now. That's actually good news that to see someone in central midfield position get an early yellow card. That is what you want to see. Oh, he definitely won the ball there.
Do you remember the days when everyone would have taken Fabian Delph as well?
Yeah.
What a fall from grace he's had. It's like when he left Villa and went to Man City, it was like the end of his career.
William Kelly saying Royale looks so good. Reguilon has been quite sloppy with his passing. Yeah, I think Reguilon's looked very, very sloppy, and Royale has actually looked quite solid. Royale has been very solid, I feel like. And William Kelly, that's why on Stats with Jack, I kind of put him as, we like to rotate the unsung heroes, and I put him as the unsung hero. I feel like, the stats certainly make him look fantastic, but as well, I feel like he's put in a lot of consistent, solid displays recently. I honestly am loving Emerson so far. I think he's kind of coming into his own. I want him to kind of improve his productivity, going forward, but I think he gets stuck in. He also really has a knack for defending by the looks of it. He knows how to get up and down the pitch, at least. The effort you can tell is always there from him. And certainly I really like, his calmness and composure on the ball. He's not the greatest going forward, but I will say he's actually good in possession sometimes, Emerson. He's very calm and collected. Look at these inside passes he's playing to Lucas as well. I do actually like watching Emerson. Referee, that's a bit, again, ref, he's not allowed to lay one on him like that.
Just about to tell you one of the results was going our way where Leeds had scored against Leicester, but within a minute, Leicester have equalised.
Even Leicester dropping a single point really helps us, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to finish that thought, William Kelly, I love Emerson so far. I really have been. I think, he's been brilliant, as well. Just quickly, William Kelly, if you were to actually compare some of his defending stats to Tomiyasu, he's practically beating Tomiyasu in every single defending stat. And Tomiyasu is actually expected to be more of kind of a, conservative defender as well. And Emerson, honestly, again, look at these inside passes from him. It's honestly very, very silky from the man. Finding Ben Davies making again an unnecessary overlapping run. Like, I don't get it. The guy also runs at like 3 miles an hour as well. So I really don't get why he even is making runs forward, because it's not everybody in the world would be able to track those runs, because it's honestly, Jesus, like I seriously don't get sometimes these overlapping runs from Ben Davies. I really don't. Like, he doesn't, it's like he also, I swear, it's like he puts on horse blinders or something like that as well and just starts running in a straight direction, and it's where no one could play him. Like, I just don't get it, actually. Just the runs he even makes are just so unintelligent. But yeah, sorry, William Kelly, got a bit distracted there. But Royale has looked honestly brilliant. William Kelly and Reguilon has looked a bit sloppy this match. I definitely agree. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the support as well, William Kelly. Hopefully we bag this goal soon before the end of the first half here. But probably any of those 2-1 predictions, 1-0 predictions, potentially could be kind of spot on. But, I don't want to speak too soon. Definitely might be knocking on wood there for that. But big yourself up, William Kelly. Thank you again. JC, welcome to the build, and hopefully you're keeping well, my man. Para McCusk compared to Ben Davies is headless. I mean, honestly, that would be kind to headless people, I would say. Honestly, he's kind of like Eric Dyer, where I just think he's honestly just an airhead. I really do. Like, I really just don't think there's anything in there. But Region surging forward here with the decent deflection. Ben Godfrey seeing it out, though. Excellent recovery by Ben Godfrey, I will say. Skippy getting stuck in on the sidelines there. Yeah, William Kelly, I feel like they are linking up really well. And William Kelly, I don't know what you think, but sometimes some of these inside passes that Emerson plays, when Emerson is in possession, he's very calm and composed. Like, it's almost like compared to other players in our team, he seems to really relax, and he seems to, wait for the moment to play at the right time, seems to find those inside, passes on the floor very easily. I really have enjoyed Royale. I really do enjoy him. I think he has just honestly been sensational so far. I just want him to maybe improve that final ball sometimes. But that is, he'll eventually get there. He's still very, very young as well. I mean, he has a lot of years to go, to develop his game. So, I think he's been honestly fantastic. That doesn't really seem like very much from Højbjerg there.
He looks a much better player in this system, I would say, Emerson. Than he did in a back four, because he's obviously, he's got a better engine on him, because when we watched him against West Ham, he kind of went forward, but nobody really found him. Whereas now it's your outlet, isn't it? You've got Reggie and obviously him. But yeah, I think he's moved on considerably, and there it's only a couple of games, but you only judge what you see. Yeah,
exactly. You only judge what you see. Well said, actually. But I think, him and Mora will continue to link up well. Maybe that's also partially why maybe we play Mora, is just because they do link up, quite cleverly at times. And also Emerson is quite skilled at finding Mora in those inside pockets, in those inside spaces in the middle of the park. He seems to be quite good at that. So I definitely do agree there. Jesus, ref. I mean, did you not just see what Fabian Delph was doing to Harry Kane, and then he touches him once and he goes down? I mean, seriously, ref. But yeah, thank you very much, William Kelly. And I completely agree. I also love that you're a big appreciator of Emerson. He still has a lot to do, still has a lot to, improve on. But I think he's looking very solid. He's looking very solid.
Clumsy, isn't it, from Reggie? Bearing in mind
he's looking a bit sloppy today. He's looking a bit sloppy today, Reggie.
Bearing in mind he's on a yellow and he's gone in for that challenge.
I don't want to see another red card hurting us, especially when you play the 3 in the back formation. It can really hurt you. But yeah, Reggie needs to be careful here. He is going up against Andros Townsend though, and Andros Townsend this season has basically been, one of Everton's best players. He's been one of their best players.
Yeah. There's the Mora.
Luca Digne on the ball there, finding Allen. Allen plays it into the box for Richarlison, which goes wide. There are plenty of players around him. Richarlison has been kind of choked out, I will say, for the majority of this match, which is nice to see. He's definitely been a bit silent. Maybe since they have a lone striker up there, when you think about it. I mean, Damari Gray, he kind of actually shifts very wide when you think about it. He doesn't really play alongside the striker. He kind of just overloads, the left side. So it is kind of nice to see Richarlison, at least for the moment in time, be a bit on his own. But Spurs, again, though, kind of being kind of controlled deep in their own half. Hopefully we can kind of find big spells of possession again, like we did last time, or at least a few minutes ago. But definitely a very tense affair. I would say maybe not even the most exciting of games, but we will hopefully find a breakthrough here quite soon. Cleared by Cuti Romero. William Kelly saying everyone looks better in this system rather than Nuno's crap. I definitely kind of agree. Even Harry Kane's hold-up play is looking a whole lot better at times. What do you think, Phil? Is everybody just looking at least a bit better in this system, a bit more? Maybe I would say Højbjerg and Skippy, kind of have a bit of learning to do. If I were to be, if to go against that. I completely agree, William Kelly, but I would say Højbjerg and Skippy maybe need to grow into their own a bit more in this system.
And I think that's come from, I don't know if it's so much the system or the manager. You know, a manager that's not going to accept anything other than your very best says a lot. And maybe, you know, we keep talking about potential problems with Højbjerg or anything like that. Maybe that's some of the issue. Maybe Højbjerg's feeling the pressure a little bit. Maybe he's got wind of...
some of the rumors around a center mid. Again, a very sloppy pass though from Reggie. A very sloppy pass. Like he has all the time in the world there.
Well, Skip missed the challenge there, didn't he?
Oh, Allen cutting inside, finding Damari Gray. Damari Gray with a shot blocked by Romero. Højbjerg finds Lucas. Lucas, do something here. Harry Kane with a world-class touch right there. Should have maybe found Sonny. But a bit of a... that's a poor pass from Harry Kane as well. That is a poor pass. A poor pass. And now Damari Gray getting a bit more end-to-end. Now Damari Gray going at Cuti Romero. Cutting inside. And it's deflected, and it goes out for a corner to Everton. But William Kelly, I do think everyone looks a lot better in this system. I feel like, it's bringing out the best of a lot of our players, and that's what's nice to see. I do really hope that they kind of grow into a bit more. Again, they've only had practically 1 or 2 training sessions, practically 1.5 training sessions. So it's really hard to know like how much Conte's philosophy has been instilled in these guys. But, I can definitely tell that the mentality has certainly changed at least a little bit. I can really tell it has. But William Kelly, again, big yourself up. Really do appreciate it.
I tell you what, I always get nervous at, Jack, is, when a striker or forward player from the opposite side takes a shot and the defender tries to get a foot or something in the way, the amount of times, Chelsea was the classic, there is no way Conte's shot would not have been saved by Lloris, but Eric Dyer got the touch and it just gave them an easy goal. And it's very easy to sit and say, should you just trust in your goalkeeper? Because there's not many shots that are going to beat Lloris from 20 yards. So why do we want to do the added complication of giving potential deflections or something like that?
I guess the point is that if you really, maybe what you're right about that is that if you want to stand in front of it, make sure that, you get the right, sort of block on it. You really stand your ground towards it. Because I think what sometimes happens is, at least in Eric Dyer's case, his legs were, completely, closed, to block it off. He also, kind of flinched a little bit and looked away, which is understandable. But, that, like you said, only kind of causes, maybe further complications or, kind of havoc, when they have a shot on goal. But completely agree. And honestly, William Kelly, again, really do appreciate the support, my man. Really do appreciate it. And I couldn't agree more with, this system, at least looking a bit better. But I will say, certain players have not been playing too well today. I would say Reggie definitely needs to improve. I would say Skippy and Højbjerg, again, haven't been, pulling up any trees either this match. But, I think we're seeing maybe the best again from kind of Lucas Moura and Emerson. I think Emerson and Lucas Moura more or less have been some of our best players. And Romero, I think, has looked very solid as always. But he's, as we all know, just a world-class defender, as we can tell.
We're certainly giving them the opportunity to have the ball and grow in a bit of confidence to this, aren't we? Mm-hmm. Who was that who just did the diving header? Was that Dyer?
I was looking away.
No, I was just, again, he's obviously not learned from Newcastle because the ball's coming at knee height and he's headed it. And I don't know. I don't want to be like calling him out all the time because he's one of our team. But, there was no one around him. That was just a left foot clearance.
I mean, I would say Dyer is just never convincing when, clearing a ball or sometimes in certain defensive situations. Damari Gray cutting inside, slipping and turning, and Skippy.
Oh, no.
That was a bit scary there. I would say he seemed to already be going down, though. By the time that Skippy got there by the looks of it. But
Reggie needs to be careful, man. Wait until you see it. Or was it Ben Davies? I couldn't tell.
I think that was, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how far ahead you are, Josh.
Maybe like 10, I think like 5 or 6 seconds in front.
We're 16, 17, 18.
Love that word perfectly in sync, Phil. It's glorious, actually.
I think Oh, actually, yeah, I've got your logo in the top right. That's why.
William Kelly saying, if Nuno goes to Aston Villa, put your house like our kids on Villa going down. Yeah, honestly, you could put, the entire real estate, the entire mortgage probably on it, William Kelly. I mean, honestly, but maybe he would actually do quite well with, the players there, not so many egos, not so, he's got decent players at his disposal at Villa. I honestly think William Kelly personally, I think Dean Smith, I mean, that's honestly needs to be yellow for Richarlison. I didn't check. Did everybody see that?
What time are you two on?
39, 06, 07, 08.
Oh, you're in front of me now. And my stream's like, oh, wow. I can't catch a break. Hang on a second.
But sorry, I need to respond to William Kelly here, Josh.
Go on.
I was going to say Dean Smith for me. Just, I don't know. I just think he's kind of been overrated. I think he did a job, when Villa needed him to do a job, to be kind of conservative, to be pragmatic. Ball across the six there from Damari Gray goes out. Anthony Gordon keeps it in quite well. Just quickly, just making sure nothing happens here. Deep in our own half again, by the looks of it. Very deep in our own half.
You see everyone back bar Kane. That's better, Reggie. Or Davis, whichever one.
Højbjerg breaking out here, finds Emerson.
Not better. They whipped that around quickly, didn't they?
Here we go, Emerson. Referee. Honestly, Richarlison, that's 2 yellow card challenges right there. But I think Dean Smith has been a very overrated player, if you ask me, William Kelly. Manager. I think he's been very overrated. I thought he did, a good job, when they needed him to, keep them in the Premier League. But after that, I just thought he'd been playing, just very, very pragmatic football, not very exciting football. And obviously the reliance on Jack Grealish is really coming through. He's playing Emi Buendia in the wrong position. It's I don't know. I just think, he could be doing a whole lot better. Leon Bailey, even their new signing, he's playing him as like a left wing back, when he's, practically a striker, if not a left winger. So honestly, I think he's just been kind of overrated, and, maybe Nuno might not do much better, but at the same time, I don't think he could do much worse than what Mike Dean has been doing recently. Sorry, Dean Smith.
Oh, ouch. It's probably right for Nuno, isn't it? They're a pretty solid mid-table Premier club.
Yeah.
Is he going to make them? Is he going to make them title challengers? No. Is he going to get them relegated? Probably not. But I think he really Nuno needs to take a look at himself. And I know it's very easy to sit and say the Tottenham job was too big, but it was so clear and obvious from probably game 3. There was no instructions. It was almost like he watched the game. He had from a fan's point of view, I would love to watch the game from the dugout. That would be the best position, and he got that lucky seat. But he just, I don't know. You just get the impression he felt beaten before he started. Similar to the fans, really, isn't there? We never expected him to do anywhere close to 2 years. Not a chance.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, actually. That is a very good point. William Kelly following it up, though, but pick yourself up, William Kelly. Really appreciate the support as well as the talking points. William Kelly saying, no, Jack Nuno is a spent forward. He was like that in his final year with Wolves. Yeah, that's maybe what I think we've all just thought that Nuno is going to kind of rekindle that original Wolves kind of form and whatnot. Maybe I'm still kind of holding out for that. Maybe if he were to go to Aston Villa as well. So decent actually build up here. The poor pass from Lucas Moura. He needs to spend more time on it. There's no way he gets it. That's the biggest dive I've ever seen, ref. Like, seriously, honestly, Richarlison is getting away with murder out here on some of the tackles that he does on us. And then when we just give him a little nudge in the back, apparently that's enough for him to go down.
I mean, when you think how big and tough this guy is supposed to be, he'll wrestle anyone for a headed chance, and then he gets, a hand on the back, and he's gone, it's like he's been shot by a sniper. It's mental.
But yeah, you're probably right, William Kelly. I think Nuno, to a degree, has just been on the decline. He's been on a huge decline. He's just really falling out of form. It's really falling out of grace, in terms of, his managerial capabilities, his tactics and whatnot. And you're probably right, William Kelly, actually. If you go by recency, the guy certainly hasn't been doing anything really that well. So think you're actually probably right, William Kelly. It's just I've just not been a big Dean Smith fan. I just really haven't. Like that's just kind of, I guess. So if I had to pick between the two, maybe I would still pick Nuno, but I don't know. That's just not saying much. It's like really honestly like picking two very, poor managers, if you ask me. But you're definitely probably right on that one. William Kelly will definitely concede to you on that. And then he also says that's why I never backed him when he came to Spurs. Yep, that's probably right, because that final Wolves form, that final season under Wolves, despite all the injuries, I felt like they had more injuries than Liverpool even had. But despite all the injuries, it really was horrible football that was going on over there. And Wolves fans, maybe for good reason, as we're realizing now, we're not happy with it. They really weren't. So I think you're absolutely right, William Kelly. And thank you again for all the support. I really do appreciate it. And also, again, all the fantastic talking points, my man.
Maybe Aston Villa have done what Tottenham did. So they've sacked Dean Smith so that they can get Nuno in before Norwich do, but like we did with Conte and Man U.
Maybe they'll find a world-class manager at some stage, but Aston Villa certainly, they definitely need to find one quick, because they are in very poor form. They had that great Man United performance, but ever since then, it just really has been quite shocking from them. Yeah, close to halftime here. A few seconds away from 45 minutes. Sonny in here. Sonny finding hopefully Harry Kane. Harry Kane on the end of the 18. Hopefully finds a good ball in. Reggie! Oh my God!
Reggie!
Oh, Starks on G. When is that goal going to come from Reggie? When is it going to come from him? Sometimes he does need to bury these. He's really, especially after the poor performance that he's honestly had, that would have really made up for it. Maybe that was too far in front of him. I guess we're going to find out now. Brilliant ball in from Harry Kane. He's falling to the ground before he hits it. It's just keep your balance there, Reggie. Just keep your balance and just hit it. Just side foot it home, my son. Oh, that's poor from him. That was a really glorious opportunity, actually. That was a good chance. That was a very good chance. Yeah. Honestly, he's been playing quite terribly. I would say Reggie certainly has.
I honestly, I wish to God that they did the Amazon documentary this year. I would love to get up close and personal and see what he really has to say, especially at like times like this at the halftime, because this is when he earns his money, isn't it? It's not been good enough. What are you going to do about it?
We didn't see that under Nuno. No, we did not see any sort of halftime, changes or any halftime tactical switches, under Nuno. But it is now halftime, everybody. We got 94 people in the building kind of joining us for this one. Hopefully everybody is, a bit frustrated. I'm not, I don't know. I don't think either team has really, pulled up any trees this match. I don't think Everton have really played much better than us. I don't think we've really played much better than them. It's just been kind of very tense, between the two sides. Dara saying, guys, this is shocking again. Midfield outplayed, attack overplaying. Kane and Sonny missing Lucas, running into danger. Everton are full of injuries. Yeah, that's actually a good point, actually, when you think about it, Dara. They have Yeremina out. Doucouré, who's been one of their best players, is out as well. I know I'm missing another one as well. We all know Dominic Calvert-Lewin is also out. So when you think about it, we probably could be doing a whole lot better, and probably should be doing a whole lot better. But then again, Rafa Benitez, I will say, he needs some points here. They're not in the best of form, Everton. They are playing at home, also with the passing away of, Walter Smith as well. So, maybe it's just, they're kind of running on, maybe a bit of the high and the fumes of, trying to, win back some credit with the fans. Maybe they're just putting in a good performance for that reason. But I mean, what do you think of this though, Latis? Midfield getting outplayed, the attack maybe trying to do too much. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and again, obviously we sat and just watched it, and I can't tell you why. I don't know whether he needs a Tongi on ahead of Mora, ahead of Højbjerg and Skip, so that they can build your platform and then move through with Tanguy, because for all his good runs and everything, Mora, he kind of is almost running in the space where you want to see Emerson running. So if Emerson then can go forward, but the other two guys then can drop into that position or help out, that surely makes more sense. Because we haven't, there's been a couple of times with poor passing, one from Kane where we were through, and you were just like, put the killer ball. But you see Harry Kane's at the end, they got ripped open very easily there, but we had the right people in the right place. Son to Kane, brilliant cross. Reggie should have scored, but, those chances are there.
Do you feel like the chances have been there, but hopefully we can just do a bit better about it when we actually find ourselves in these positions? And Dara, I would also say, like the Everton being full of injuries as well. I completely agree, man. I mean, I feel like we should be doing a whole lot better, but at the same time, it's just been very kind of tense, pragmatic football from both teams, just both teams, kind of sitting back deep in their own half and, kind of interchanging, spells of possession. It's just not even been that exciting of a game when I really think about it. Been quite dreadful, but appreciate it, Dara, and also thank you again for all the support from you and William Kelly. It's been very, very generous of you guys. Dark Sun G's back is saying Royale and Reggie goal incoming within 5 games. Yeah, but Dark Sun G would say, Reggie, he needs to improve. He needs to improve on that first half performance. A lot of people in the comments are also saying that, he's been quite poor. I definitely tend to agree. Josh, what do you think? Has Reggie been, poor this game for you? Like, is it, what's gone wrong for maybe Reggie this match? Is it just a poor match, or is there something different?
It's just a poor match for Reggie. His touches aren't great. He's not doing much.
Playing hospital passes at times.
Yeah,
well.
I mean, I'm hoping he comes out in the second half and Conte's giving him an absolute grilling, because we know that's what Conte's going to do. Because that half ain't good enough, in my opinion. The fact that we had no shots on target. Let's have a look at the stats, shall we? We've had 5 shots with no shots on target. That's terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
We need to be doing better than that.
Yeah.
That one they're just showing now, that last one, that was a quality chance. So, on target, off target. But if that one's on target, that's a goal. And then we're talking about what a great goal we made. High press, great cross, great finish. 1-0 halftime. Thank you very much. But it's just slightly missing.
Yeah, I would actually say. And there's been moments when I think there's been some decent defending by Everton as well, where they've got stuck in the right moments, I would also probably argue. But yeah, I think it could be a whole lot better, especially from certain players, especially Reggie. He's playing some hospital passes, Dark Sun G, if you ask me. But Royale has looked honestly brilliant. He's looked brilliant this match, and it's been probably maybe a shining light, in that first half performance. I think if everybody kind of reaches his level of, maybe kind of composure, consistency, I think we definitely will be able to take the second half. I mean, any tactical changes, guys, that you would make? Personally, I think play maybe 10 more minutes of the same thing. If nothing changes, from the players, I would probably bring on Tanguy, in for Lucas or something, and go with something a bit different. Maybe go with somebody to kind of, control the middle of the park, maybe find, Harry Kane and Sonny, because we're also sitting very deep in our own half. And I think, the issue with that is that then when we're trying to break out, we just have to wait for, the rest of the players to catch up, with overlapping runs through the channels. I think if we had someone like Tanguy in there, he could probably control spells of possession a bit more and also just have a bit better link up play. But what do you guys think? I mean, what tactical changes do you think Conte needs to make?
I'd bring off Skip. I think Skip's been absent in this game. I've not really seen much of Skip at all. So bring off Skip and bring on the Ndombele, and then push the Ndombele just in front of Højbjerg, so he can go forward and he can also pull back as well. Skip's not really done much for me this game. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that, but I've really seen him on the ball.
We've seen actually, to degrees. We saw it last match as well. As much as I feel like Højbjerg and Skippy, the past 2 matches under Conte have not really pulled up any trees, if you ask me. They really have been quite just average. I would say Højbjerg at least is making runs forward. I know he's responsible to make runs forward, but he hasn't really done too great either. Certain kind of hospital passes from him, also a few kind of misplaced passes. But Skippy has just kind of gone silent, the whole match. He's just gone kind of dead. He's not really playing any progressive passes. He's not playing anything forward. And he's just kind of sitting back and, kind of being that destroyer, which I think is fine with. But yeah, I would say, Skippy has not really done too much credit for him. What do you think of that? Phil, would you do maybe someone like Tanguy in for Skippy instead of taking off Lucas?
I think they need to change something further forward. I think my concern would be if you leave, especially with the form that Højbjerg's in, if you take him off and you do Tanguy and sort of Lucas Moura ahead of that, you're almost top heavy, and I think it leaves the back four sort of slightly slightly open to to risk, because Højbjerg can easily get outplayed. Just on that, it's just come up on Sky Sports. Arsenal were 0-0, having had a goal disallowed and a penalty saved. So
they're at least getting a bit more chances than us, I would actually admit, which is unfortunate. But a lot of people are actually saying that Skip is playing well, you guys, and that Højbjerg actually should be the one taken off. I don't want to play too much bias, but maybe that could be correct. Maybe you keep Skippy on, take Højbjerg off, put on someone like Tanguy. What do you guys make of that? What would you make of that, Phil? Is that maybe what you've been seeing? Would you take off Skippy first, or would you take off Højbjerg?
I'm going to say, purely for experience, I would take. If I was going to do it, I would take Skip first. So I think Højbjerg's got a better presence and everything around there, but he's still, I think Josh is absolutely spot on. I think they're both off the pace, and it kind of imbalances the side, because you can't rely on them like we were, sort of the first handful of games. So we're expecting them to do a little bit more, but maybe they are just, they're destructive players. They're not ball players. But if that's the case, then you need somebody else who's going to put the foot on the ball, like a Tanguy. So,
yeah. Well, good analysis there, Phil. Actually, great analysis. Dara saying we should be having a new manager bounce. Yeah, we should be. But, I think sometimes it's these players. Sometimes these players, are just struggling, to really put their foot in the game, be able to kind of be accountable towards the manager as well. Dara, that would be my thoughts on it. I do feel like we are, in a sense, getting a new manager bounce, just from, it feels like we're at least a bit more defensively secure. We look a bit, kind of better, going forward at times, but yeah, it certainly hasn't been too fantastic. I feel like, he also hasn't been in the office too long when you think about it. How much do we really expect him? He hasn't even had a week, even close to a week yet, to come into the side.
He trained Friday. First session was Friday, and I presume he would have had some
and it was a recovery session as well.
Yeah, it's not it. When you look at, and he talked about it at his press conference, but he didn't obviously go into any details. But it's a very broken, dishevelled bunch of players that we're asking him to basically knock down, rebuild, and all of us want it done by the second half against Everton. It is going to take a little bit longer, so it's just as they do it, it's that we've got to go with the progressive steps. The formation does look a little bit better. There's just something missing in the middle of the park. That's the big one. But again, I
completely agree.
We'll see what happens at the start of the second half. I don't think he'll change it for 10. I think he will give them another 10 minutes, but after that, who knows?
Yeah, I
it's my. I think it's an attacking midfielder we're missing. I think he needs to play one in front of Højbjerg. Genuinely needs to play one in front of Højbjerg. Just adds a bit more attacking depth. Like like I said, even if you play the Dombele slightly in front of Højbjerg, but give the Dombele the option to push forward or pull back.
Yeah, I kind of see that.
You can almost do that by putting more in there now. I want to say Cam, but it's a bit looks like a wider range of plays. But if you look at how they set up, there's a massive chunk of space in there that we haven't really got anyone in there going forward. If you had someone in there that was able to drive and with the ball, and I keep saying Tanguy, but who's better than Moura? He's quick on the ball.
Yep.
The problem with Moura is he doesn't always have the final pass, but he can
also make runs, though, off of Kane a bit better than Tanguy can. I completely agree. And Dara, I would just say, I think we should wait till after the international break, when he actually has time to work with some of these players and, who are not going on international duty. Then we can probably see a bit of that new manager bounce. But it is a fair point, actually. It is a fair point. Dark Sun G saying I might try Catastrophe out instead and put Sanchez in for headers. That's why I, personally went for Sanchez in my predicted lineup over Davies, just because, maybe Dyer can play that left side center back position. But you also have to take into consideration, like, Sanchez can be a bit erratic, but I feel like that's what I agree, though, with you, Dark Sun G. Sanchez is very good in the air, and I think is very underrated in the air, actually, at times. But, maybe Conte just doesn't trust him. Maybe he just doesn't trust him. Or it's also just because Ben Davies is lucky enough to be a left-footed player. That's probably what might be as well. But definitely big yourself up, Dark Sun G. And William Kelly saying, the problem for Conte is you look at that bench and go, oh
Yeah,
God,
absolutely.
it's like a desert, honestly, in terms of quality. It really is. It's dismal. It's dismal, William
I
Kelly.
love what they've just shown there, where you just see him and he never shuts up. Conte, does he? He's pointing, he's directing, he's doing his job. He is managing. You can't manage someone by going, oh, just go and do this, this, and this, because things change. So he's dynamic, he's on it, and that persistence with the players will eventually keep them going, because they won't stop and think, oh, well, I've done my bit now, because as soon as you achieve that bit, you want something else. And that's what winners do, isn't it? You never accept anything, you just keep moving forward.
He's also worked with, a bad bunch of players before, like, maybe not as bad as the set that we have at the moment, but, he has worked, with, a poor set of options, and he has made the best of it, as well. So I think, again, he just needs more time, though. He just needs more time. I mean, you don't make water into wine instantly. You certainly don't. And I feel like eventually he will find the time to be able to do that. But pick yourself up, William Kelly. I mean, again, the bench is the biggest issue, and also the way that Conte wants to play, with the players that he has, I would say, especially in the middle of the park, he just doesn't have the right players, that he would like as well. So I think, he is very limited, and I completely agree. The bench is just not deep enough. It really isn't deep enough, to be able to change the game. We barely have any good forwards, that can come on and change the game as well. When you think about it, because Stevie B, I just think is, kind of hopeless.
And I was going to say that's the other thing, isn't it? It's, your bench looks all right when you look at, Ali or Bergwijn or Lo Celso and Ndombele, but who are you honestly trusting out of those four to come on and change this game? For me, there's only the one person there that can change that game.
Yeah. That's actually kind of a good point. They're honestly so shaky and inconsistent, all four of those players that you mentioned, especially some of them I think we've already given up on. So that's, the real answer. But William Kelly, completely agree, my man. And also, again, appreciate all the support. Sanchez saying, did score 2 goals in the FA Cup against them. That's very true, maybe, especially he was a nuisance to them. I think he gave up a few goals as well, but, he made up for it, with the 2 brilliant headers. And actually, when it comes to it, if they were to put, Richarlison in the box a bit more, I think we definitely would find that, someone like Sanchez would be able to handle, some of that aerial threat from Richarlison a bit better. So I actually completely agree, Dark Sun G, completely agree. But again, I think Ben Davies is probably going to stay on the pitch, which is unfortunate. Mr. Catastrophe, Dark Sun G, that is unfortunate. William Kelly saying, let's be honest, a lot of these players will not be here come January and summer. Big changes needed. Yep, that's the big thing. And also, I think someone put it the other day, William Kelly is like auditions. These are all like auditions for Conte, whether which ones he wants to keep, which ones he wants to kill, which ones he wants to, send somewhere else. But I mean, what do you make of that, Josh? Is it basically just kind of like a bunch of players auditioning, for Conte?
I think it's more a case of Conte's looking at these players in depth, and he's trying to worm out the deadwood. And then, I thoroughly agree.
Put them under the fire, finding out which ones,
Yeah, exactly. I think we've already established that Eric Dyer is absolutely tragic. Even though I love Eric Dyer, I think I'm now in the same boat as everybody else that Eric Dyer needs to leave. The way that Reggie's playing today as well, I don't see Reggie starting under Conte for much longer. He seriously needs to improve. But no, there will be a lot of players that leave, and I think there will be an overhaul in January. 4 or 5 players, I reckon, will come in January, and we'll see a completely new starting 11.
Steve Hitchens certainly wouldn't like that. He usually doesn't like January time because
Steve Hitchens is clueless and doesn't know what is good for this team. Paratici and Conte do.
You never thought someone would complain about doing their job, especially being paid as much as he is.
Exactly.
Completely agree.
See, that's just what we were saying about Jordan Pickford earlier. There's a calamity in him. He's there, Eric Dyer, isn't he?
Definitely is.
He'll pull off a worldie, and then the next minute he'll drop the corner.
Actually, really, I do agree. Actually, Pickford, I would say he's kind of a nutcase. At least he's a bit of a nutcase, even more than Eric Dyer is. But I would say with Pickford, his distribution sometimes can be quite decent. But apart from that, yeah, he can be a bit crazy at times. But goalkeepers are always a bit crazy. Heung-min Son here, though, loses it with a decent tackle again from the Everton defenders. Misplaced pass there. Reggie hopefully doesn't get a yellow. Don't get it. Okay, thank God. It was really getting ready for Reggie to put in a bad challenge. He's learning now. He knows he's on a yellow. Maybe he was instructed by Conte, to be told, you got to be careful here. I can't be having another red card in one of my matches. But Emerson Royale out wide here, looking for something. Again, he's so composed on the ball sometimes. I'll say Emerson Royale. Just knows how to open up space for others. Ben Davies playing it out wide to Reggie, making again that run I don't understand, and wins us, a throw-in by the corner flag. But William Kelly, hopefully there'll be a lot of changes come January. Get a lot of players out, make a lot of changes in terms of, personnel, especially in the middle of the park. And we need a new left back, as Dark Sun G always says, and I completely agree. At least a backup left back to Reggie when Reggie isn't playing too well. And then we also probably need, as we all know, that backup striker / forward that can actually score some goals apart from Harry Kane and Sonny, because we do rely on them way too much. So definitely William Kelly. And I think I do feel kind of bad for Conte. He looks at that bench and is just, probably very unimpressed. He's probably very unimpressed by what's available to him. But big yourself up, William Kelly. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
See that again, another little touch there from Mora. He gets round his players, he gets the fouls. If he's doing that higher up the pitch, you don't want him doing it on the halfway line. You want him doing it, kind of in line with where Reggie is now.
Kuba99 saying, who is that pulled out of that 50-50 is Reggie. I think the reason he did is because he got a really stupid yellow in the beginning of the match, Kuba. So, when he runs the risk of getting an early red card and dismissal, which it just can't happen. Just can't happen. So, I think he just has to be careful, Kuba. Unfortunately, he just has to be careful. Conte is absolutely. He seems a bit livid with somebody. Sonny here though, receiving it in space, finds Lucas Moura, Højbjerg.
Right.
Højbjerg playing it deep into Sonny. Lucas Moura finding Cudi Romero, making a deep run here.
See, they're pressing us now, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And it's worked because they won the ball back. He was a long way forward there, Romero, wasn't he?
Yeah, he really was. I think that's the thing, though. Maybe that's part of the situation with a center back, though, is in his system, is that the one that plays in the middle in that libero role is kind of more the sweeper / kind of distributor. And then the ones that play on the other sides that have to be good ball carriers. And they also have to be, willing to press very high and win the ball back and be, it's kind of the biggest thing with Conte's system is the wing backs and the center backs have to be absolutely world class in his system. And hopefully we will find that at least with Romero. Emerson playing Lucas in behind. Referee seeing trampled there. That was a decent ball in from Emerson. Could have been put a bit further in front, but that seemed, maybe it was good defending there. That seemed a bit questionable. It didn't. Lucas Moura is not one to go down too easily either.
And he didn't, again, in respect, he didn't ask for anything. I think he just fell over.
He just got out strength there. Just got out muscled probably by the looks of it. But William Kelly, Vlahovic, please, for me, anything for you, William Kelly, especially. And Vlahovic, I would say, like I said, I am a bit of the itch whisperer, and I did tell him to come home, to Spurs. I told him that his home is here with us, so hopefully he realizes that. Shot blazing over the bar from Anthony Gordon. What are your thoughts on Vlahovic? I mean, he would just be absolutely brilliant to bring on.
Oh, it'd be just quite. How much if we went for him in January? What realistically do you think we'd end up having to pay?
Getting him in January.
I know
is the thing. His
hard.
Contract doesn't. People, I think, have misconstrued. His contract does not expire this upcoming summer. It expires next summer.
Months, isn't it?
Yeah. So that means basically you would be kind of still paying practically top dollar for him if you were to get him right now. I think he would probably go anywhere between 40 and 60 million, if not a bit more.
You think when we last bought a striker? When did we last buy one? It was Vincent Janssen. So, that's if every year you say I'm going to spend 15 million on a striker, we haven't bought one in 4 or 5 years. So go and buy a decent one, and then, you might then be able to play Vlahovic and Kane up front and have Son in that advanced midfield role.
Well done, Ben Davies. Can't believe I'm saying that. Well done, my son. Finally, somebody to get some defending. Harry Oh, Højbjerg. Horrible touch by Højbjerg because he had Harry Kane slip through. He had everybody slip through. He's also got to play a better pass there.
I think you've just gone a couple of seconds ahead of me.
Let me pause.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Perfect. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
you did one just now. You blazed that over the bar, and he was just crossing it in. So it was like, oh. But
yeah, sorry about that.
Right.
Must have pressed a button that made me go ahead. Højbjerg, though, I think needs to do better, though, Phil. He needs to be able to have a better touch. He needs to be able to slip him in behind there. I mean, those are great opportunities. Oh, Sonny could have turned there.
But I did know, I have to be honest, and I do like Højbjerg. I think he's great for our team. But if you look at the end of last season, he was not the same player that started our season. There were mistakes. I think it was when we went to Everton. He made a couple of mistakes.
Decent chance here. Reggie with a ball. It's got to be a better ball, either to Sonny or somebody.
Yeah, he made a couple of mistakes.
Brilliant play from Lucas there.
But because it was Højbjerg, it kind of doesn't get mentioned. Whereas if it was a Dyer or Davis, you'd be talking about it and remembering it forever and a day. So
that's probably true. That's probably true. Wow, Emerson and Romero there. Just wow, look at that play from Højbjerg. Just embarrassing to Murray Graham and Richarlison. Honestly, sending them back home. Honestly, really. I mean, you might better like next time, boys. Seriously, 2 back heels, 1 little Rabana there, and then a beautiful Meg from Højbjerg as well. I mean, that was actually beautiful to watch. That was beautiful possession play. The confidence, you can tell, is just honestly ridiculous right now with Royale.
So this is
Romero.
The point now is if you look in the middle, oh my.
Reggie is shocking.
It's like, but if you're looking, you've only got back or forth. It's like, who is in the middle? Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, it's like, who is in the middle that's going to sort of pick up the ball? So, like, and I'm going to have to say it, but like a Christian Eriksen or someone who's going to go, give me the ball. I always want the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. And I'll put it. I'll play it neat. I'll play it forward. I'll make the pass when I need to. We're missing that. Yeah.
I do think we are really missing that, and that's what I think part of that tempo setter can do. That's what, someone that can control games, can do is, they can allow you to recycle the ball a bit smoother, a bit more efficient. And as well, though, is, play, passes into people's feet at the right time, so they can turn and look. It's just, you do need that Christian Eriksen. You really do. I completely agree, Phil. But William Kelly, I absolutely would love to have Vlahovic. I want Vlahovic. I'd probably pay any price for him. I think knowing Levy, would he be willing to do that? Maybe not. But also Conte has been promised, transfer funds. He has been promised transfer funds, but he says William Kelly would pay around 80 million for him. And maybe that's like the going fee right now for Vlahovic is 80 million. Again, I would pay any price for him. So that would be fine by me. I really would be. I think, again, we absolutely need him as well.
You would normally look and say, I don't think it would be as much as 80, but you got to look at it. Will it make a difference to our team? Yes. Will his value go up? If you signed him, let's say we said 60. If you signed him for 60 and putting him on a 5-year deal, his value already goes up. Is Conte going to make him a better player? Yes. So there's a lot there that you sat there thinking, okay, there's some good stuff here.
Yeah, completely agree, actually. And also as well, though, like with Vlahovic, I think he could actually play alongside Kane. I really do. I think they would actually be quite decent together because Vlahovic has good hold-up play, but I think he's actually a lot quicker than people, give him credit for. And he would be someone that would be in the box, when Harry Kane, we all know, does like to drift and, kind of move around a bit more, and maybe someone like that. Reggie, though, with the that was good, but that was a shot, and that definitely was going to be on target there. But people are not happy with Reggie's performance. People are not happy, but that was actually a decent shot and a decent move by Reggie. Hopefully he improves a bit. But William Kelly, again, I pay any price for him. Really, I pay any price for him. William Kelly saying taxi for Reggie, please. Definitely so, honestly. If only, we had Ryan Sessegnon and William Kelly. If only Ryan Sessegnon was available. But there really is no one that can replace Reggie at the moment. Maybe you put Brian Hill out wide, but I don't really think that's his true position. So, we're going to have to make do with what we got, I guess, which is, again, William Kelly, just a horrible thing to even say. It really is.
If you give another alternative, it's like, do you bring Sanchez on and put Ben Davis out there? But again, No, you wouldn't, would you?
No, he wouldn't, especially at least in Ben Davies' case. I just don't think he has the pace to even play, Reggie's position, just because you have to be able to get up and down. And Reggie, we all know, can get up and down. It's just, the quality hasn't been there from Reggie today. But Ben Davies, he just struggles with that. He really struggles at being able to get up and down the pitch in the ways that the modern fullback is required. That's my problem with Ben Davies as well. He just doesn't fit the bill of modern fullback anymore. So, that's why he's probably switching into a center back, but he's never really been that great of a defender either. So, he really just, it's like I probably have said, I don't really know what a Ben Davies is. But Reguilon, I really would like Reguilon to come off. He has been kind of suspect this whole match. William Kelly, I'd like him to improve. But I just don't know what else we can offer. I don't know who else could come on for him, which is just a sad situation.
Bring on Stevie B and put him as a wing back.
Yeah, but this is my thing, though. Maybe, Josh, did we buy Reguilon or did we buy Bergwijn to be a wing back? We bought him to be the third goal scorer. We bought him to be the third goal scorer. We bought him to be someone that could help, Son and Kane in terms of getting goals. We didn't buy him to be a wing back. And, that was a scary ball in.
God.
That's a scary ball in.
So look, this is where... See?
It's a bit sloppy there from... Oh, yes, he wins. Come on, Emerson. Oh, yes. My favorite thing with Emerson as well is all the fouls that he wins is honestly brilliant. It is brilliant. The guy is honestly fantastic. The guy really is fantastic.
Bloody Gooners have scored now.
That is amazing that he won a foul there. Hopefully they can equalize. It's against Watford at the end of the day, right? Aren't they playing Watford? I mean, they should do well against Watford.
Now, it's like, where's his passes available are Reggie or a centre back. There's like nothing ahead of him.
Yeah, that's actually, but this is where I think we just need better ball playing center backs, or at least better central midfielders that can find more space, in the right areas. And what Ben Davies is doing, oh Jesus, Ben Davies, like
it's Josh, it's the one I showed you yesterday on that app.
Oh right, yeah.
And I've got the same as Jack. So however I found it, I'll now pick up that. Oh, yeah, come on.
There you go. Great tackle.
Come on,
Sonny. Come on, Sonny. Drive, Sonny. Drive, Sonny. Slowed it down a bit here. Lucas Moura.
Oh, come on.
Lucas Moura driving. Lucas Moura plays it out wide to Emerson. Ball in from Emerson. Højbjerg played the back post. Reguilon here.
That's better.
There we go. Ben, what are you doing? Okay, swings it across to Kuti. Kuti finds somebody, finds Emerson out wide. Kuti Romero making a run inside the box. Plays it to Lucas at the top of the 18. Lucas swings it back and recycles it to Eric Dyer. We're deep in their own half at the moment. Very deep in their half. Back post to Emerson, goes out for a throw-in. I mean, this is kind of interesting. I will say we just made made this game pretty horrible, if you ask me. It's just both teams really just put every man behind the ball.
Yeah.
When they get deep in their own half, it really is, just kind of shocking. It really is sometimes.
The way they were doing that with Fabian Deltho, it looked like he'd scored, and suddenly my screen had jumped, and it was like, no, didn't realize he's just going off. I suppose 60 minutes that's pretty spot on for a Benitez sub, isn't it? Oh, Dave.
60 minutes. Hopefully we see someone else come on for us at least soon. Maybe a Tanguy or Gio, but Gio last time honestly did not do anything for me.
Yeah. Dara, you're right.
Just missed this one though. Davies is playing well where he is. Yeah, he's actually played a decent game actually, and I wanted Ben Davies to prove me wrong. I wanted him to prove me wrong. That was a decent hit from him as well. Decent hit. So, hopefully he proves me wrong, and that's what I want, William Kelly. I honestly want to be
two games on
these players.
2 games under Conte, and both games people are saying he's playing well. It's a massive improvement. Then again, it can't get any bloody worse, can it?
That's honestly sometimes the life of a Spurs fan.
Imagine if we win this 1-0 with a long-range Ben Davis goal.
45 yard out, Ben Davis, right foot, pitch, top bins.
Vincent who?
I just
Harry
think,
who?
We
Ben
need
Davis, new striker for Tottenham.
Damari Gray out wide here. Damari Gray.
Oh, great.
Emerson, there you go. Emerson, what a monster, Emerson. But still cycled back to Davies, Tom Davies, not Ben Davies. Damari Gray out wide with Luca Digne. Now we have every man behind the ball now. Hopefully we see a bit more pressing though from the. You're probably actually right, actually, to a degree. You know, Phil, it seems like Sonny and Kane basically do just play right next to each other, you know, at all times. Cycling it back to Pickford. Pickford looking for a pass, finds Michael Keane. Pickford's been a bit shaky, I will say. Ben Godfrey on the ball. But, yep, honestly, William Kelly, I want Ben Davies. If that were to be one, it's someone I think asked during Stats with Jack, what average players could you see being changed under Conte? You know, I think, you know, the word average is quite a compliment, you know, to Ben Davies. I think he's worse than average. But if he were to be one of those, then, you know, that's what I would say. He certainly could be one of those players improved. Ball in behind here.
Fuck's sake. There's absolutely no way. No, that
it's
is
a penalty.
It's a
Oh my
fucking
God.
full blown as well.
Josh, you're a bit ahead of us.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, Hugo, what are you doing?
Did he get the ball or not?
No, not at all. Not at all. That's a pen.
The ball looks like it changes direction there.
Poor clearance also from Region as well. Tracking back.
Oh, I just wanted to be offside. But no.
What are they looking for here? Maybe they are looking for.
Oh, maybe he did. Maybe he did.
I think if you look at it, the ball changes direction, and it can only change direction from Hugo.
Oh, yes. He did hit the ball there. I did see his hand swipe across the ball there. It's very questionable, though. It's hard to see it being overturned.
Oh, yes. He's overturned it. Oh, no. He's got another look.
Oh, no. He's having a look.
I don't get this. Why does he need to go and have a look? Surely John Moss just says to him, you got it wrong, or it's a penalty. There's no...
The ball actually stops. So when Hugo puts his hand out, the ball stops in place, which would assume that it's...
This is hard. This was very difficult.
Oh, I'm going to be 2 seconds. Just going to pop to the...
No problem.
The nerve place.
Davies is playing well. Josh, I need you to...
I can't help it. That was just an initial reaction.
Have they overturned it?
Come on! Come on, Hugo.
Good save, Hugo Lloris.
Hugo. I never doubted you. Never doubted you, Hugo.
Good save, Hugo Lloris. What a save.
I want to save. World-class save.
VAR man of the match.
William Kelly, I would just go back to it. And Ben Davies has been, honestly, one of the better players. If I were to do player ratings right now, I mean, the player ratings wouldn't be very high, but he'd be one of the better players, which is absolutely shocking. I'm even saying that. Dara saying, guys, still no shot on goal. Tongi needs to come on. Yep, I completely agree, Dara. And I really don't get it with this team, honestly, especially just the lack of shots on goal that we have with this team really is shocking, if you ask me. It really is. Alon is absolutely furious. Honestly, referee, you might as well give him a caution here. Might as well give him a yellow. Get him out of here. Allen is honestly, Jesus, he's having an absolute temper tantrum over here. But Dara, you know, I would like to say, you know, really, Tongi does need to come
Yeah,
on.
he's definitely moved. I take it they overturned it then.
Yep,
Yeah.
they did overturn it. They did overturn it. But Tanguy definitely does need to come on. He definitely does need to come on now. I really need someone else to just make a change in this game. Especially, I think we just need to keep Harry Kane and Sonny high. We need to keep them high up the pitch, to maybe challenge actually the defense. And I think someone like Tanguy would allow them to do that because he would be able to thread them through instead of, Harry Kane dropping deep to, thread the others through. We need someone like Tanguy to come on for that reason.
The other thing that was telltale there is Richarlison. He didn't appeal for the penalty.
Yeah, no, actually, you're right. Actually, I didn't notice that actually, which is kind of shocking. He did roll around a bit, but apart from that, you're actually right. He didn't make such a big fuss. Alan, made more of a fuss for him, clearly, which is kind of brilliant. We'll say honestly, great temper tantrum, great clear out by Ben Davies, honestly as well. That's actually brilliant. Love to see it. Ben Davies is he's just playing like a whole different player.
Does that count as a shot on target from Son then or not?
I think the Irish Hotspur just dropped in here. Ben Davies shocking defending leading to that Peno shout. I think it was Region actually. David, I think it was Region. I think it was Region's clearance.
How Spursy would it be for us to go on and score now?
Thank God for that. 3-0 is still on. Absolutely love it, William Kelly. Absolutely love it. I completely agree. Also the quadruplo, if we win it tonight, is on. The quadruplo is on, as Kuva99 likes to say. Pick yourself up.
Oh,
this has got 0-0 written all over it.
Really does. That would be the first time we get a draw, though, which, when you think about it, would be the first draw of the whole season. William Kelly saying Son has been poor today. Yeah, he definitely has been. He's not really been the same Sonny that we know. I think Harry Kane's actually been a bit better.
Oh, fuck!
They're asking for appealing for a handball. Don't tell me it's another Peno.
No.
Richarlison here on the ground. Seems to be.
What clock are you on, Josh?
68:03.
Oh yeah, you are
20
like
seconds
15 seconds ahead. That looks like a pen.
I didn't get to see it.
And Ben Davis.
Well, that's all I'm going to say. Well.
Oh, Richarlison got a yellow card for that. It's just come up on Sky Sports. Jesus.
Oh, he's a fucking little puff. Oh, my God. Get up. Wait until you see it. Oh, my God.
Didn't Richarlison just headbutt?
Yeah, he did.
So that's a red then.
Well, it's the other way around.
Richarlison went into headbutt him. Romero's done the same back. Then Richarlison's looked for the ref and then gone down like a sack of spuds. Get up.
Leicester have scored.
Completely agree, though. Sonny has been poor today, William Kelly. But I think part of the reason, though, is that they're just so deep in their own half. Like, we're so deep in our own half at times. And that's the issue. We need to take more risks. We can't just put every man behind the ball here. We really can't. But there's still plenty of time to play. Harry Kane on the ball gets tackled by Damari Gray, actually, quite cleverly. Good tackle, actually. Harry Kane is down. Ben Davies putting his arms up behind his back. Well done by Romero. And Tom Davies with a shot. Hugo saves. But I would say, that is did Romero get a yellow card for that with Richarlison?
No. Oh,
thank God.
Oh, yeah, he did.
I was going to say somebody else did, but it came up. Also get a separate alert for each one, so I didn't see who the second one was.
That's shocking that he did. Honestly, again, another yellow card for Romero that seriously I don't understand. I really don't. Especially, I'm still mad about the Pablo Fornals one. I really am. Thought that was shocking. Oh, Sonny better be on side here. He's in behind. Sonny's in behind.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus, Sonny. That is shocking. That
is
horrible.
Maybe then. Someone was... Who was... Was he offside?
You know what? We all criticised Nuno for not making a sub. He's just made a sub in the 70th minute. Just his second made a sub. He's making two. What what?
Give us 15 seconds and we'll have a laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, Reguilon 4. Let's have a look. Oh, Lo Celso, left wing back, please. No. Oh, no.
No.
The prodigal son returns.
Oh,
more?
no.
Oh, my God. Lo
Not the
Celso
Matt
for
Doherty
more.
train. Oh, no.
Nona Dombele.
Lo Celso, especially Lo Celso. He was so awful last match, too, Lo Celso. Why does he get to come on? He was so terrible. He was honestly shocking.
Well, he still gets to play in his number 10 role, so I was ever hopeful that he'll play in one of the front two.
So would that insinuate he's now playing Davis on the as a left wing back? It does, doesn't it?
No, he'll play Doherty at left wing back.
Doherty's playing left wing back.
He's played there before for
what I was thinking is he might have just shifted the team over. He puts Davis as a left wing back and then slots in.
No. Oh my God! Honest to God, we are shocking here. Cannot put a pass together in that midfield.
No,
Yeah, this is when Doherty becomes a Spurs legend. Yeah,
he goes on a mazy run.
Goes on an amazing run and belts it top bins.
Yeah, he's playing an inverted wing back as well, since he's right-footed on the left-hand side, so maybe he'll cut inside and have an absolute curler.
If you're watching Adam Clark, very funny. What the hell are these subs? But you got to trust what Conte's doing, and if that's the ones that he wants to bring in, he's a better football man than any of us. So possibly,
I just don't think he knows anything about the squad yet. No. He just doesn't know. He just doesn't know which ones are which. Which ones are the dead weight. Which one? He's finding out. But we'll see. We'll certainly see. Romero covering up. Not the best clearance there, but Emerson playing it back to Lloris. Lloris finds Cootie. Jesus, Gio, don't tell me that was your first touch. Højbjerg finding Emerson. That's honestly not even on Emerson there. Gio moved away from the ball. He was right there to receive it, and he left him. Jesus, Gio really frustrates me. He really does frustrate me sometimes. I just don't get it with him.
I'll wait for you to catch up and then I'll say something.
Doherty clears it out wide to Seamus Coleman.
I was just going to say he got stuck in there.
Oh, come on, Højbjerg.
Come on, Højbjerg.
Who's?
Oh, that's a shocking pass.
Oh,
are you able to pause yours though, Josh?
I can't because if I stop it, it just cuts the stream out completely.
Mm.
It's a pain because I can never find a stream that's like, unless it's on TV, then it's different. But
hopefully, I mean, I wouldn't really take a 0-0. I wouldn't be happy with a 0-0.
No,
but
I just think back to Watford. Watford stuck 5 on this lot. We haven't had a shot on target yet.
At the same time, though, you want to say that maybe, Rafa Benitez has worked on a few things. You want to think that he's worked on a few things because they are desperate for a win. And also, again, considering the passing away of their, former legendary manager and whatnot. And maybe they're kind of using that as motivation. But, it's not too much of an excuse. But especially all the injuries that they have. I mean, seriously, this is a very weakened Everton team when you think about it, too. Very weakened. So hopefully we can find at least, honestly, just snatch and grab 1-0. That's what I need. Snatch and grab 1-0. But honestly, we've had some chances, though, that we've certainly blown. Reguilon had that brilliant chance. Should have put that away. Sonny, that was pretty much a one-on-one to a degree. Pretty much clear through on goal.
Square ball there for Reggie coming in.
Yeah.
Right, come on, boys, hold the line. Try not to look at Josh so that I get any reaction.
I'm trying not to react.
It's hard though, isn't it? Because it's
shot on goal blocked by Eric Dyer, I believe. Pushed out wide to Digne. Tom Davies on the ball, cycling it back to Michael Keane or Seamus Coleman. Allen on the ball, looking for someone. Harry Kane putting a bit of pressure on Allen. Allen pings it in behind for Richarlison. Shocking defending Eric Dyer. What are you yelling at them for, Derek? Oh, Jesus. What do you mean? That's your job. What did they do? It's your job. Bit of shock in there from Ben Davies. Seriously, sometimes I really hate that about Ben Davies and Eric Dyer. They like blame everyone else when it's clearly just their job just to defend that.
So you look at Doherty playing them all on side. Look how far behind Doherty is. It's not like he's not in, it's not like he's in the middle and he's got to look behind him. He's only looking ahead.
Does he even know he doesn't even know what a straight line is, Doherty? Oh my gosh. That is shocking. He was playing every single person on sides. If only they realized that as well, Richarlison. Here we go. Doherty looking for someone. The guy can barely even see straight. Looks like Matt Doherty.
So we've had no shots on goal at all.
Gio Lo Celso's touch sometimes is just horrible. The fact that went off his chest and went, 10 yards, 15 yards in front of him. I mean, it's not even like he's a big guy with a big chest or anything either.
You could be right, Dermot. You said 1-0. I still don't think this game will end 0-0. I think someone's taking this.
Yeah, there's going to be some sort of snatch and grab. I think it'd be a snatch and grab for both teams, to be honest.
I was going to say, whichever one.
Well. Yeah, no team has really played well. I don't think Everton have really done much to deserve it. Here we are, Gio. Do something here, Gio. Interesting pass, Gio. You could have just cut inside a bit more.
Offside? No, bloody.
I'm gonna smoke. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna turn my camera off. I'm gonna have a smoke quick.
He's only looking at the ball, isn't he? He's not looking at. Come on, Anthony. Come on, Antonio Neone. Come on.
He's trying to get these boys. He really is.
Well, there's thousands of us or millions of us across the world watching this dross.
At least we're used to it.
Yeah.
Come on, Gio. Play a pass here.
Oh, that's a ball.
There we go. Now you see Harry, and then that's when we need Harry there. Come on, Harry. Oh, it's Jesus. It's just ball every time. It's just the final ball every time. It's either
same as against West Ham. If you had a clinical pass there, and that's it. Oh my God. That's Mr. Harris's favourite player.
Oh, that is just. Come on, though. Good hold-up play, though, by Harry. Come on, boys. Now we're going here. Skippy driving forward. Skippy, you need to keep your head up. He finds Doherty. Doherty, you know. Maybe he went to... That's shocking from Matt Doherty, honestly. That is shocking, actually. It's a bit clumsy defending, I will say. But I don't think that in any way is that a penalty shout. That's Jesus, honestly.
It's 80 minutes of hope, and now it's 10, 15 minutes of a little bit of frustration. And
mm-hmm.
Sorry.
What, Doherty's touch?
It was just Doherty then. You're a Premiership footballer. What are you doing?
It doesn't, honestly. These guys are warming up on the sidelines the whole time as well. You'd think their first touch would be a bit better.
We definitely seem to be having a little bit more drive and thrust there at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's making sure you just keep going, forward. And is that Lo Celso there, right in the middle?
Now he turns away, though, from Dyer when he needs to be showing for it.
Yeah.
I just don't get Gio sometimes.
Because this is what they need.
There you go, Doherty.
Yeah.
Come on, Gio. Here we go.
But there's somebody in there who's going forward to pick up the ball. So, oh dear. So, that's where you need Lo Celso, because Skip and Højbjerg are not always that kind of player.
Mm. Sonny here. Barris is Gordon. Shocking cross. Doesn't really need to cross that as well. When I think about it, it's a bit forced. 10
Come
minutes
on,
of
boys.
pain coming up, it says
I was
Ian
just going to
Ferguson.
say, big push for the last 10.
Andros Townsend finds Anthony Gordon. Seamus Coleman here puts a ball into the box, cleared by Moon Boots. I mean, Moon Boots, that is a shocking clearance. You have all the time in the world, Moon Boots, to also find somebody with that header as well.
That's it.
Harry Kane seems to be maybe conserving a bit of energy here.
Okay, they're not pressing like we were at the start, were they? But maybe the fit. Well, we can see that, can't we? Fitness levels aren't there yet, so.
Gio Lo Celso just gets absolutely burned there. That is shocking defending again. Gio, how do you get burned that easily? Like, again, you just came on as well, Gio. Like, you really just came on.
That was close, wasn't it? He's just let him go, isn't he? Joel Hugo wasn't getting to that, was he?
No. That was always going wide, but he could have done it a lot better. He could have done a lot better, probably. Jamari agree with that. Mason Holgate coming on for Allen. Maybe they're going for the draw now. They're going for the 0-0.
Well, that would be a good point for them, but I mean, what is the point of mucking around playing it at the back and then just giving the ball away? I just don't get it. I mean,
Ben Davies is now just clearing it for clearing's sake.
I get it if we're 1-0 up and it's the 93rd, but we're not 1-0 up. So he's done 3 subs or 2. Doherty,
He's done 2.
Doherty in the Celsius, so he has got 1 more, but you're running out of time for that one to come on and make a difference now, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Anthony Gordon here. He and Ferguson, the next 7 minutes are going to take 7 years off my life. Find Højbjerg. Højbjerg again, that final ball. All right, Gio. Gio, Christ, Gio. Oh, my God. You have all the time, Gio, to play the pass. You have all the time in the world. I just don't get it with him. I really don't. He's supposed to be a creative midfielder. He's supposed to be like a number 8.
I think someone put the stats up earlier. Even he's something like 50 games for Argentina, scored 2 goals and 3 assists. That's it's a return of 1 serious contribution in every 10 games. It's not good.
I mean, people say he plays well for Argentina, I guess. I mean,
is that sun coming off now?
I think it is.
Who was that then? Tanguy or Bergwijn?
I haven't seen yet. Yeah, it looks like Tanguy.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Come on, Tanguy. Earn your Spurs.
I really would have just put on Tanguy instead of Gio. I really would have.
Yeah.
We'll see how this goes, though. Harry Kane just needs to stay high up the pitch then. Well done, Emerson. Well done.
I would say clearly man of the match today.
Yeah, that might be 2 in a row from him as well.
Yeah, don't want to say it too early just in case, but yeah, he's been
solid.
good.
He's just solid. Like, you just don't really worry anymore sometimes when it's on his side. But yeah, don't want to speak too early.
Oh, who was he calling there? Was he saying Romero? Up. See, look, up. So he can see that we're defending too deep.
This is the thing, though. We just wouldn't have seen that under Nuno. We really wouldn't have. Like, he wouldn't be telling them anything in these moments. William Kelly saying, I think this is Conte's biggest challenge of his life, because if it was me, half this team would be gone in January. Yeah, I mean, but I think he even realizes that this entire team is going to be gone in January. He's just making do with what he has. He really is.
Oh, it's a free kick. Oh, let me go backwards. So, but do you see what I mean? There's nowhere to go there now other than sideways.
Gio is also here. Shocking touch. Come on, Gio. Pings it to Tanguy.
Come on, Tongy.
Do something here, Tongs. Do something here. Burn him. It's got to be better.
Is that class as a shot on target?
Yes, when it's directed towards goal. But yeah, I mean, this is the biggest challenge of Conte's life. I can't believe he's taken this on himself, William Kelly. Honestly, he is a saint, for trying to work with this squad and this club here. But wow, brilliant from Tanguy there. Jesus, come on, get up though, Tanguy. There's no reason to try to embarrass 3 players like that and not expect to get hit.
Who's that for?
What is this guy just throws yellow cards out for nothing? Is that for Tanguy?
What on earth would you get? Yeah, it is. It's Tank. That's why.
Yeah, no, that is, yeah. William Kelly, completely agree. And again, it's pretty shocking what, he's taken upon himself. It really is, honestly. Again, the guy's practically doing charity work when you think about it. Really is. Tanguy's just tripping over himself now. Seriously, it's just Gio and Tanguy are just useless, dumb and dumber sometimes. William Kelly, continue to appreciate the support. I really do. It really does go a long ways. But here we are. Skippy driving through the middle. Please, can we find the final ball? Please, just somebody. Gio finds Tanguy. Play Tanguy. And you're selfish. Oh, hits the post. Tanguy was wide open in the box, though. He's wide open in the box.
Did the keeper get a touch on that? I couldn't see it.
Yeah, no, he really thinks he should play Tanguy in there, though.
No, he didn't.
Wow. Good hit, though, from Gio. Great hit. Unlucky. Great hit from Gio. Great hit. Yeah. But yeah, William Kelly, this whole team is going to be gone in January, if not half of it. I would probably get rid of about 70% of it, really. Benedict Tampin saying, at least we can't blame the managers anymore. Singing from the hymn sheet there, my man. Tanguy on the ball there, hero on the outside of the 18. Few step overs. He's just too slow today. But Benedict Tampis, at least we can't blame the managers anymore. I mean, that's what David's been saying the whole time. It really is these players, as much as, the managers have gotten lots of things wrong, Antonio Conte is the antithesis of this. He really is. He's just proving.
Who was that?
Well done, Harry. Well done, Matt Doherty. Back post, Emerson.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yes, Romero.
Oh, on the edge.
Emerson, you have all the time. Oh, referee. That's shocking. Boone boots. Yellow card here.
I'm hoping that was for Holgate and gives us a free kick. Who would you have take the free kick?
Oh, wow, that's pretty studs up. Here's the thing. I mean, you're picking between wow, yikes. You're picking between Gio and Harry Kane. Neither one can get it over the wall.
Moon boots?
To be honest, I hate to say this. I think Moon boots is better than both of them from free kicks. I think he's better than both of them.
He had the one that Palace keeper pulled off with a worldie at the end of last season. Oh, that's an ouch. I don't care if bloody Hugo comes up and slots one. You want to make the keeper work. I don't know. I was going to say how many minutes? 4 minutes?
Is he going for red card here?
Red
See,
card
looking at
then.
the monitor. Wow, he would just say he's been on all 4 minutes.
See that little kid?
I didn't. That is quite shocking. Yikes.
Yeah, he's gone for that. That's red. But you've only got 3 minutes to deal with it.
Yeah, I don't think it really does anything.
Not now. All it means is that they won't go forward, will they?
Yeah. A lot of people are saying let Gio give it. A lot of people are saying give it to Dyer.
It's got to be one of those two. No one else. Yeah, there he goes. Adios. Could have done without 20 minutes ago, but hey.
It's a John Joe Shelby moment.
Come on. Imagine Christian Eriksen in somebody else's body. Come on, Christian. So I wonder if they will do the 4 minutes from now. So we should be playing to 96. I'm going to bet they don't go to 96. Yeah, it is Gio.
Pickford is such a nut, man. He's such a nut house sometimes. Wow, he left a real stud mark on Højbjerg there. It's a lot further out than I realized. I thought he was a little bit closer to the 18. Seems like, it's going to have to be, it can't really be a shot on goal. It's going to have to be some sort of ball in the box here.
Oh, come on. That's 2.5 minutes so far wasted looking at the red card.
It probably might go to 96, 97 is what I'm thinking. But still, who's this? Actually, I don't know who this player.
Whoever that is,
I've never seen him before.
No.
Gio's motioning towards something.
Yeah, he's not shooting. He can't shoot and score from there, can he? Please at least put it in the box, so don't go sideways so that it goes along the...
Okay, goes out for a corner.
By the new guy. Come on. We never score from corners, do we?
This is why Dark Sun G said earlier we put on Sanchez, because we know Sanchez is a threat from corners, especially against Everton. But what is going on here?
I don't think he realizes there's only a couple of minutes left. Come on.
Can't ever beat the first man, Gio. Jesus Christ. Like, that dude, honestly, is shocking from corners. He is horrible. Tanguy and Emerson getting absolutely trampled there. There's no way that's on Emerson. It's just a shocking touch from Skip. What did Skip do?
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, there you go. Good. Honestly, that's a bit unnecessary when you think about it.
Jesus. Come on.
This has gone. This has been so slow.
I don't know what he's going to say about this, Conte. They're just going for the corner, aren't they? They're just...
That is scary there from Emerson.
They got a corner. Jesus. Please do not smash and grab this.
And Davies marking Richarlison. I don't know why. Cleared by Romero.
Oh,
Doherty, there is no way you're being paid 90 grand a week for that touch. Like, what is the point then? Just clear it if that's going to be your touch. Just clear it. Jesus, there's no way that's his touch. There's no way. And notice that header as well. The dude doesn't know how to defend or do anything. Even Harry Kane earlier was telling him what to do in terms of how to get in the box. Oh my God, this is shocking. This is playground.
All right, come on. You got to be, what, a minute left?
Yeah, maybe a minute and a half.
Oh, I've just seen the score come up. It's this bit. We're deep in the depths of final time or closing time. Why are they not pushing forward? Right, he's going to have to cut back before he crosses it. Oh, that's...
Emerson, decent header there. Gio going down way too easy. That's a dive.
And that will probably be that, won't it?
William Kelly saying Conte must have been promised vast amounts of funds to spend in January. Why else would he want this job? I don't know. Why would he want this draw?
Absolutely, William Kelly. But no sane manager that's not a lower league manager is coming in to take over this without, and being told, maybe his brief is Premier League champions next season, but he could work all the magic he wants, but he's not doing it with these players.
No, I don't think he can. I mean, Josh, what do you make of this? William Kelly, he's saying, basically, Conte wouldn't be this crazy, to accept this sort of team, this sort of squad of players, this sort of depth, unless, he's being promised, a major overhaul.
I don't know what to think of it, to be honest. I genuinely have no idea what to think of it. That performance was abysmal, and we really need a turnover. We really need people to come in and people to leave, genuinely. Because there is absolutely no way that we can justify being on the back foot even when Everton had 10 men. It's terrible performance all round. There is not one single person on that pitch that deserves a round of applause or even some kind of praise for today. Absolutely abysmal.
Even the players he brings on, like you really think about it, it's just there's nothing there. Like it's just nothing there in terms of players or quality to bring on there.
No, exactly. And the optimist in me says, "Oh, it's a point gained rather than 2 points lost," which is what we shouldn't be thinking that. We shouldn't be thinking that.
No, we really shouldn't be. I don't know. I just think a lot of it's been said before. I think William Kelly said it. Better Tampa said it. Basically. We are starting to realize and wake up as a fan base, though, where it has and really has always been these players. These players have basically been producing these results. As much as I think Nuno is absolutely shocking. As a manager, these players are still the ones that got him sacked. These players are still the ones that continue to do nothing for us. They don't really change any game. They have no quality. I mean, we see sometimes their first touch. We see them, take it out of bounds. We see their clearances, their finishing. It's all just shocking. It really is. And we're just going to have to basically undo all the transfer work that we've done before. We've already complained about how we don't spend any money, but then the money that we have spent on some of the players that are in the squad right now, they're honestly quite useless, and they can't really do anything. And then we've given them too much time. They're all also crybabies as well. When you think about it, they really just don't really have any sort of composure, or they have no sense of taking the game, taking an initiative in the game. I just don't really just these players. I just don't. I think everybody knows at this rate that this isn't Conte's fault. It's going to take a lot of major overhaul. It's going to take a major overhaul.
This isn't Conte's fault, and Conte's going to go in that dressing room and give those players an absolute grilling, and thoroughly deserved. We've now got the international break where some of our players are on international duty, and then they come back, and then we've got 8 games over the course of 6 weeks.
Who won't go on international duty that's going to be getting the proper fitness training? So Tanguy, Dele, Winks.
Well, if Conte puts his foot down, he can get all the players off of international duty, barring the likes of Harry Winks. Come on, barring the likes of Harry Kane and Son.
I don't think you can. I mean, when they're
I,
called
I
up,
don't think you can. I don't think. I
yeah,
don't think
they have that. That's their right as players to do it. It's not even Antonio Conte can't force them not to
your
go.
Romero and stuff like that. They're still going, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, but they reserve the right to be able to do it. They reserve the right to be able to represent their country. William Kelly, though, I, I think he wouldn't. He's not an idiot, William Kelly. He's not an idiot, and he would absolutely, in every way, probably be expecting, some sort of major overhaul, some sort of major rebuild, like another rebuild, basically, in order to get the players that he wants, the players that he can bring into the squad to be able to change the entire system. Because honestly, they're just all at this rate. There's so many players that I would get out. But big up William Kelly. Thanks for the continued support.
We got to be confident and say it will happen. It's typical. We've been so long sort of there or nearly there or dropping away that we want to be beating, Everton 4-0 today with a world-class performance, and it's going to take a bit of time. He hasn't got all the players he wants. He's obviously given them a little run to have a little look at, and I think today maybe it's told him some more stories. But we're unfortunately, because we're Tottenham fans and because we're football fans, we want everything to happen straight away, and it's not going to happen everywhere. Ideally, he would have the 2-week international break now with no one going on international break, so he could train them and put them through their paces. But, he's probably going to be left with the majority of the players that we'd all be saying we want out. So your Winks, your Allies, Domblay, you can't do too much with that lot. If you look at the first 11 that were there today, who's going to be there? Dyer, Skip. After that, that's the only two, isn't it? I can't see anybody else being there. So, you can't do an awful lot of training with Dyer and Skip.
No. Yeah, and I'm now starting to believe that Harry Kane is now being exposed as a fraud as well. We need to sell Harry. I think Harry needs to go. He's absent. We'll
get to that later. Yeah, but we need to get to some of these super chats. But Dara saying, I'm sick of all these players. We all boo the usual Davies, Winks, Gio, but it's all this team. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg outclassed and overhyped. I think there are a lot of things I can break down there. That's actually well said, actually, because at this rate, we continue to, I say the usual suspects, which are Davies, Winks, Dele, the lot, Doherty. But now we're starting to realize that, it's the majority of these other players that also kind of continue to let us down. And then you move on to the fact that Højbjerg was pretty shocking today. He was pretty shocking today. I really thought maybe Skippy kind of came into his own maybe for the rest of the match, but he wasn't really pulling up any trees either. But Højbjerg was really poor today. He was really poor. There were so many moments when he could have played that final ball. His through balls were shocking. Some of his passing in general is I don't know. He's just not the same Højbjerg. He really is.
Everyone was poor. Everyone was poor. There's not one person that stood out for me on that pitch today.
I think Emerson had a good game.
Emerson, there were phases where Emerson looked good. Well, okay. So let's say Emerson was the best player on our team today. Son surprisingly looked really bad.
He looked really bad, and he blew a huge chance as well. And he blew a huge chance. But Dara, I completely agree, and that's a great thought, actually, that, we're starting to realize it's not even just the usual suspects anymore. A lot of these other players are continuing to let us down as well. But big up, Dara. I really appreciate the continued support as well. Dark Sun G saying, we need to work on our passing, especially Kane. Once Kane fixes his passes, then we will start to score again. Son needs to be on the same wavelength as Real. I think, to be honest, it was everybody's final ball today, Dark Sun G. Everybody's final ball was so horrible. Like, if we would have decent link-up play, and then that final moment where you needed a bit of class, a bit of composure, we just couldn't find it. We just couldn't find it within ourselves to be able to play that right pass, be able to weight it in the right way, to be able to play it on the floor in the right way, to even, to a degree, also make a right touch even. Sometimes our first touches were also just shocking as well. And I don't know. It's just a lot of people, Dark Sun G, that really, I think Kane's passing was especially, not maybe Harry Kane levels, especially there's that one moment when, again, Sonny was through and he could have squared it to Sonny, and it's just hit it so far in front of him. Like, it's just I think everybody's off the pace and everybody's out of sync with each other. So Dark Sun G, completely agree. Phil, what do you remember,
you got to, what we think about as well is they've obviously clearly got new tactics, new training methods, new fitness regime, and a new system. And it's probably very easy for us to just say they should all be able to slot in and out of it, but maybe it is just going to take a little bit of time for them to get used used to that system. You know, you still got to look at the next few games. They're winnable. Next one is home to Leeds. So, you know, I'm already predicting 3-0 then. We should be doing that. We should be taking that one. And maybe that's another great chance because they'll all be away by tonight, won't they? If not tomorrow morning, and then possibly the Wednesday, Thursday. So it's, you know, he's probably got another 3 days with them at the end of next week.
I think at each passing game, you know, we're going to see steady improvement. I think we are. I think he's going to continue to figure out how he can best manage this team come January. When January comes, he'll be able to get a lot of new players in that can at least challenge some of these players and give them a bit of a wake-up call. But maybe also part of the problem is a lot of these players might know that they're out the door and they're continuing to throw their toys out the pram and be stuck up about it all. But Dark Sun G, really appreciate the support as always, brother. And I will say I'm actually quite shocked as well to say that, you know, Ben Davies wasn't too terrible today. I will say I'm quite shocked by that, but let me know. Joseph saying players are shocking, need to get rid of 12 minimum. Yeah, I've actually said that before even Conte came in. Now with Conte, I think the deadwood list got even longer, Joseph. But I've said that before, honestly, that I think a lot of people don't realize how, like, if you really want to be, you know, fair about it, be realistic, the deadwood list is much more than the 7 or 8 players that we usually list. I think it's always been a lot more than that, but pick yourself up. Kuva99 saying that big difference now is we have a director of football and manager combo that will change this. Conte will assess what he has until January and get what he needs. I think that's what's finally, you know, we have a formula that we can see. We have a fantastic manager. We have a fantastic director of football, and hopefully we can just have them work together, sync together, and figure out where the problems are of the squad. It's brilliant to see Paratici on the bench because we all know that he's also seeing these players as well and how terrible they can be. And so he will know also what players he wants to replace. And we all know Conte, you know, he has no mercy when it comes to these players, especially if they're not doing what he asked them to. So hopefully they'll sync together in that. They really do. But what do you think, Josh? I mean, Kuva is saying basically, you know, we might be seeing, you know, basically we'll be seeing Conte and Paratici, you know, being able to sync together and get the majority of these players out.
I don't even think it's Paratici, it's Conte. Paratici wasn't the success man at Juventus like everyone says he is. He was an assistant to someone, and when he took over at Juventus as a full-time director of football, the club started to slowly go downhill, hence why he got sacked. I don't think it's all Paratici. I think it's going to be all Conte. Conte's going to go with Paratici with a list of players that he wants, and Paratici's going to go, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir. There's the money, there you go. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. There's about 6 or 7 players in that team that I'd happily drop and sell today.
I'm not sure if that's entirely the case actually when it comes to Juve, but that'll be discussed another time. Definitely seen different sources on that. But Kuva99, completely agree. I'd love them to see combine together and be able to work their minds together and be able to bring in the right players that Conte needs. William Kelly saying somebody call the coroner because Conte is going to kill somebody. Honestly, you need multiple ambulances for this one. You really would. You need multiple ambulances, but big yourself up, William Kelly. I seriously hope that he gives his kill speech to them. I really hope he gives that kill speech, and maybe he just will put up a whiteboard, you know, of maybe the deadwood list himself. He just puts it right in front of them, and maybe that will be the big wake-up call that they all need. But big up, William Kelly. I could not agree more. Honestly, I really hope that Conte is just absolutely laying into them tonight, because that was one of the most boring matches I've seen in some time. Son and Conte will train together again in 2 weeks. I just hope Son doesn't get injured playing with Korea, because we face Iraq, and last time Son was injured against them. Yeah, or he was injured during the last international break. International breaks are just torture for us.
Yeah.
There was even a bit of a COVID scare at one point with Sonny as well, and that was difficult. I just hope that, you know, maybe Conte can find the time to get through to Sonny. I think Sonny is still going to be one of our most consistent players, one of our most reliable players, but, you know, clearly, you know, he just needs to work with Harry Kane and him together. He really does. He just needs them to combine together. But Dark Sun G, I don't know. I think it's, you know, Sonny, he'll come back healthy. He'll come back healthy, and he'll come back ready to fire, because he does love this club. He's under a new manager that will give him the spark that he needs. He's under a new manager that will be able to give him that motivation. And hopefully, you know, if Sonny stays healthy, we're going to see the best of Sonny again. But Sonny, I think, just had one poor game, you know, today. That's probably his first ever real poor match, I would say, so far this season. At least, you know, didn't really do anything, you know, too remarkable this match. So I would say, you know, he's going to come back firing. He's going to come back firing, Dark Sun G. But he's also following up and saying Tanguy fitness. Tanguy will work on his fitness and passing over the break. By the way, besides Son and Kane, who else is going on international duties? All our South Americans. Pretty sure all our South Americans will be called up for international duty, Dark Sun G.
Hoiberg, Davis.
Davies gets called up. That's actually shocking. Every
Yeah.
time I do forget about that.
Obviously. I'll tell you what's interesting, Jack. I watched a bit of rugby union yesterday because it's basically some international like friendlies, but all the clubs carried on playing. So if you've got a club and you've got 5 or 6 internationals, basically you've got to play your reserve players. And it's like, can you imagine if that was? Can you imagine what that would leave all your big clubs? Imagine a club like Man City, Tottenham, Man U. What players would be left behind if they had to continue with their Premier League without their international players? Just seemed bonkers.
What do you make of also, Phil, the fact that, Tanguy, apparently we brought in 3 fitness coaches. I like to believe that, Tanguy is given his own fitness coach maybe to work with.
We talked about that this morning. Dave mentioned that apparently he has got his own fitness coach, which would suggest, which is why I thought he would start today, but that obviously suggests that he's a big part of Conte's plans because, it's like, why would you put some extra resource into getting somebody fit to be able to do a job if you're not going to get them to do that job? So for me, it kind of suggests that he's not going anywhere, or certainly not going anywhere yet.
I think also the problem is this, it seems like the Spurs hierarchy don't really want to take such a huge dramatic loss on him as well, because, he is the record signing. He's also on huge wages. And so they're just going to have to continue to fucking cater to Tanguy, which is it is frustrating. As much as I love the guy for his skills compilations and everything, it's just getting too frustrating at this rate. It really is. Others don't even know anymore, but maybe that fitness coach will be able to get through to him, Dark Sun G. But, I really do hope as well, though, that maybe Conte finds the same partnership between Son and Kane that Jose Mourinho did. Hopefully he's able to do that. But big yourself up, Dark Sun G. Really appreciate the support as always. And again, hopefully that fitness coach knows what he's getting into with Tonga. He's going to have to be slapping a lot of burgers and Uber Eats orders out of his hands. Sean Butler saying, why play Doherty a right wing back rather than bring on Sanchez or Tanganga and move Davies to left wing back? If that was a Nuno move, I would be furious. What do you make of this, Josh? I mean, I just don't think Davies can play left wing back. And I know Doherty is honestly terrible. I probably maybe just to do something different. Maybe you do. This just speaks to how we can't really fix the squad because there are no good options, but especially again with Sassignon continuing to be hurt. But maybe you put on Brian Hill as where Reggie was, instead of bringing on Doherty. What do you think?
Brian Hill was injured.
I think he was supposed to be technically available, but
he's not. He wouldn't be fully fit. I don't think he would be anyway. Bringing Doherty on as left wing back made absolutely no sense to him. No sense to me at all. Which is why I said, as he moved Davies to a left wing back and gradually moved the squad over, or moved the defence over and put Doherty in as a right centre back.
Maybe you actually switch Emerson. Maybe you move Emerson to right wing back, and then you let Doherty, I guess, play on his right side. But a lot of people have said, even actually David, who watches Ireland, which pain goes towards him, but he was saying that Doherty actually plays better on the left than he does on the right, which is again, we're talking about
Well, I mean, we can sit here and we can have an opinion, and then we can say this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, the person that knows best more than anyone is Conte.
Maybe not yet because he doesn't. Well, no,
obviously not yet. He's probably had 1 or 2 training sessions with them. He's observed 2. We know that he observed 2 before the Vitesse game. Took 1 on Friday, and then was probably travelling all day yesterday for today. So he's probably had 1 training session with them, maybe a small one today, up before the game. But Conte knows best at the end of the day, and we can sit here and we can gradually, progressively criticise the players for the way that they played, but ultimately Conte's going to do what Conte's going to do, and it's his job to do that. We can sit here and have opinions, like if he's going to play Davies at a right wing back, like I've said he will at some point down the line, then we know that Conte sees that in him and will make him a right wing back. Like Conte's got a reputation for making players that have had, quite questionable games with a club and turning them into a player that shines out, like Victor Moses at Chelsea, for example. Conte's got a reputation for doing that, and it's again, we just got to get behind Conte and just believe in what Conte does.
Got to give him time, but he doesn't have any good choices.
Time is the biggest factor.
It's like honestly picking it's I don't know. It's just he has the worst options available to him, and he's just basically picking the less of the lesser of two horrible
Exactly.
picks. When you think about
Give
it.
him a window. Give him a transfer window, and then let's see what he can do. I mean, January can't come quick enough. I think January cannot come quick enough.
Yeah,
it needs to happen.
Agree. Big up Sean Butler, though. That's a fantastic comment, and probably we would be kind of, frustrated. But at the end of the day, I don't think we can question what Conte, has done or is doing, because he's only been at the office, for like a few days. Has only had like basically one training session with them. Barely even knows these players. I just, we really have to give him time, especially when we know that he has absolute dross to pick between. So the Truth Sets Free, though, says 3 legends. Thanks for what you do. Thank you again, Truth Sets Free, and also appreciate you and appreciate all the support that you give us. Truth Sets Free. Hopefully you're keeping well down in Massachusetts, my man. Also, I really do apologize for the loss in your community that you expressed on last night. So hopefully you're keeping well, man. But I know this, this draw doesn't probably help it in any way, but big yourself up, Truth Sets Free. Really appreciate you, brother. Joseph saying Conte is going to kick many of these players off the team bus in a similar style of that scene from Football Factory. I cannot wait till January. I mean, what do you think, Phil? Like, is he just going to be laying into them right now? Do you feel like?
Yeah, I guess I suppose what we got to remember, it's really easy to sit here today and go, we're awful, we're this, we're that. But like we keep saying, the guys had no time. Do I think all of the current 22, 23 man squad will be here if he gets his wishes? I'm not going to say, whether or not, because you can't necessarily sell players that you can't sell. But he might have those options. It's a timing thing, and it's not going to happen. To quote an Italian phrase, Rome wasn't built in a day, and he can't change 20 years.
Rubble.
But he can't change 20 years of football philosophy with the prospect of a little bit of money next month or the month after. In 2 training sessions, it's not going to happen. It's not FIFA land where you're controlling it. You're still talking about the humans. You've still got the players. You've still got their mindset. He's got to change their fitness, their thoughts, their mental state, their playing ability, their positions, and their overall game management. And all of that is a monumental task. And it's just going to be a little bit of time. I do think Joseph's right. I do think there will be some casualties, maybe not as many as we think, but I would say by the time if we go on a good surge next season, the squad that finishes the end of next season will be very different to the squad that's there now. I definitely believe that.
I think I completely agree, especially I think even by next summer, it'll be like just a squad that, we're not seeing at all that we saw today. And I would just say as well, hopefully he's just absolutely laying into them, Joseph, because again, that was honestly dismal to watch. That was one of the most boring matches I've ever seen. And hopefully he finds a way to, get these players going and finding out, and maybe just giving them that, reality check about like, if you play like this, majority of you guys won't be with me, next 2 seasons. So hopefully they realize that as well. But big yourself up, Joseph. Really appreciate the support. True Sets Free saying building a foundation brick by brick, patience. Yep. But you and Phil are in the same minds. True Sets Free. You and him are in the same mind. Honestly,
he should make all the players. He should make all the players get the train home today.
Take the train home with the fans.
Get them on the coach. Take them to the train station. Say, right, off you go. See you in London.
Yeah,
use this time to think about what you've done.
And not only that, who would they be on the train with? They'd be on with the fans who'd be asking them questions. Because if you suddenly, if you got somebody on now and you went, we've got a special guest, we've got Pierre Højbjerg coming on, and it's open forum. You think of the list of questions that would be coming in, and it's difficult. The players are shielded from that. I think what the players miss more than anything, and I get people have a good game, a bad game. For us, is ultimately it's about the passion. And when it looks like they've just turned up, run around for a little bit, and not created anything, or not pushed themselves to the nth degree, that's where it becomes frustrating, because that's the most important thing. We all know that as Tottenham fans, we're going to lose games, but if you go down fighting and you've done your very best, there's not a lot you can say to it. If you get, you drip to a 0-0 and, we've put in a conservative effort because, I don't know, maybe we're thinking about the internationals and, all of that. It's not right. It's not right for the fans.
No, it isn't right for the fans because they don't deserve it. And also maybe the questions they would be asking, like, players like Matt Doherty and whatnot, like, you can't be telling me that you're a professional footballer and that's your first touch, things like that. Honestly, what are they even doing on the training ground, especially being paid professional footballers sometimes with the final balls that we've seen, some of the passing quality really is shocking these days, how much, these guys are training constantly on their craft, on their game, and they continue to let us down in that way. Just technically, even they just let us down in their own technical ability. It really is shocking. Darkson G saying, hopefully Conte during the break can watch our games from the start of Mason period up until Nuno's last game and analyze our skills and teamwork. I think that would be the quickest way to finding out, where the deadwood lies, But what
I'm going to bet he's already. I'm going to bet he's already seen them. He's not coming in with his eyes shut into this environment. He's a meticulous planner, isn't it? So he's going to want to know what they like now, what were they like, what were they like when they were good. And if you look at those three stages, you can see the dip in performance, and it gives him some clues and some concepts into how he's going to change things.
Yeah. Actually, what do you think, Josh? I mean, is he gonna, maybe is he gonna slowly kind of figure out where the deadwood lies? And also, is it kind of painful for us to go through that again, where he has to figure out, again, like every other manager, which players he can depend on for the time period and which ones he can't?
I mean, that's going to be a very short list. I'll tell you that much. They'll probably have like three
dependables. The dependables.
Yeah.
List,
well, no, the dependables. He's probably got 3 names on it. No, I agree. I don't think he's coming blind to this. I think he would have done his research. I personally, I still believe that we were approaching Conte long before we sacked Nuno. A couple of weeks before we sacked Nuno, 100%. And Conte's had the time to look into the squad. He's probably been sitting there watching the games from home, using illegal streams like we have to just to watch the games. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if that's what he's been doing. Like, watching it from afar, and he's obviously got a game plan, and he's got a list of players he's going to get rid of, and he's got a list of players that he's going to bring in. There's absolutely no way a manager comes in blind to a team. Absolutely no chance. I would not be surprised if we see 4 or 5 players get let go in January.
Yeah,
and I'd happily see 2 or 3 players' contracts get terminated there and then without a sale.
That'd be brilliant to cancel
the usual suspects. The usual suspects. Even then, like just a massive overhaul is needed. Harry Kane needs to go. I think we're just holding him back now. His momentum hasn't been there since obviously the whole thing from City fell through. There's a lot of players that I'd happily put on the scrap heap right now. But I think our main one is getting a decent amount of money for Harry Kane. Now, we're not going to get 150, 160 million for him like Levy's got. We'll probably get easily 70, 80, maybe even 90 million for him. In a realistic perspective, 70 to 90 million is a realistic.
Maybe we just swap him with Vlahovic.
Yeah, I mean that depends if Fiorentina want him though. Yeah. I mean the way he's playing at the minute, I wouldn't want him. The guy could not pick out a pass, mate. Like,
I don't think he'd be going to Fiorentina, but that would certainly be.
I'm just thinking, if that's the case, that you're selling Harry for 80 and possibly spending 60 on Vlahovic, it's that's a tough market, isn't it?
Certainly it is a hard, and
it's strikers like gold dust, man.
We have a lot more money apparently to play with, though, which does give me a bit of hope. It does give me a bit of hope because before we had miracles with whatever money that we had.
This is the thing that annoys me about when there's this rumor going around that he's got 150 million in the window. Like, you cannot restrict the amount of money you give a manager like Nuno. He should be given an uncapped amount of money. If he wants to bring in 2 players that are for £75 million a piece, and then 2 more for 50 million, give him the money to do it. Don't say no, it's not in the budget this month. Like, just let him get on with it. He knows what he's doing. He knows what this club wants. He knows what this club needs, and he knows what's going to help score goals and win games. Like, just follow Conte's lead, man. Like, Levy needs to take a step back, let footballing people take over the footballing side of things, and just let us crack on and make this club great again. Because for right now, performances like today, where we're limited to our resources are limited. Come February 1st, I do not want the same situation again. Because it's going to get to a point. People are going to start boycotting the season tickets. People are going to start boycotting the ground. And it isn't because of Conte. It's because of the chairman in charge. It's terrible.
I mean, we'll just find out come January. Probably be by the end of January when we really make our decision about whether a
February
lot of these
1st, yeah.
transfers are actually happening. I mean, I think you mean February 1st, but
Well, I also just really hope that they get on and do stuff early. I don't want to be sat there waiting until 10 o'clock at night on the 31st of January. You want the transfers coming in at almost to be announced now that Phil Josh will be signing on 1st of January. Pre-contracts have signed. Brilliant. Good. So we know that player's coming in. You got the whole of January then. Otherwise, you're taking away another 10th of your season because it's another month gone.
yeah.
What needs to happen between now and the end of what needs to happen now between now and the end of the start of the January transfer window is we need to get a pre-contract agreement put in place for a player like Kessie.
Yeah.
Like we need a statement from Conte, a statement from Paratici that this is the direction our club are going into. And if there's any manager that can make it happen, it's Conte. If there's any director of football that can make it happen, it's going to be Paratici under the advice of Conte. Like this needs to happen. Yeah. Stop with the fart arsing about. Get shit done, and let's start the rebuild.
Love that. I completely agree, and hopefully, we're not being conned here when it comes to apparently those funds. Well, hopefully, we're not being conned. But big up, Dark Sun G. Really appreciate that support there, and also really appreciate that comment because I really do hope that Conte is just going to sit down, maybe have a glass of wine next to him because it will be tough watching of all the matches that we've played since Ryan Mason. Hopefully, he'll find out where our problems lie and which players he probably can't really work with and which players maybe he could turn water into wine with. But big yourself up, Dark Sun G. Dominic Hooks saying it will take Conte 2 full seasons to sort things out. Let's enjoy the bumpy ride, keep calm, and eat a Snickers bar. Yeah, probably, especially us Spurs fans, we're not ourselves when we're hungry, especially when we're hungry for trophies, when we're hungry for victory, when we're hungry just to see a whole different team. And maybe we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves when we actually think about it. It's not even been a week. He's only had, a day in charge. We finally got a draw. I mean, I would say even under Nuno, we probably would have found a way to have lost that, actually, when I think about it. So maybe, we'll just maybe just spend it on a Snickers bar. And honestly, that's enough Snickers bars for all of us, probably, Dominic Cook. So big yourself up. Really appreciate the support. And you're probably right. I think we have to get ready for a bumpy ride. It's still going to be a bumpy ride because, with these players at the helm right now, I don't think Conte can do very much, especially after only a week. I mean, we're all expecting him to, somehow turn us into, some sort of title winning team, right away with no sort of investment or anything. We're just going to have to wait, especially till January 31st. We're going to have to wait till then and then see what our chances really lie. But that's a great comment. Big yourself up, Dominic Cooks. Nigel Gates saying, you have to remember Conte hired Mason, who loves Winks and hates Tom Pellet. That's actually been interesting, Nigel Gates. That actually is a bit interesting.
A few fans are calling for Harry Winks to find his form again, to be fair. There are a very select few of fans on Twitter that are saying they genuinely hope Harry Winks finds his form again. So take that as you will.
They're saying that Harry Winks might actually be used again. I think that's what they're saying. I don't know if I think everybody knows he needs to find his form, but I think some are saying that Conte might actually use him. I think some are actually saying that maybe Harry Winks might make another resurgence again into the squad. I think he'll let us down as he always does. But there are some that are saying he find his form. Even some thought he played well against Vitesse, which I just was like, again, it was kind of like saying the whole Matt Doherty situation. It's like, I mean, what is, or Ben Davies? It's like, I mean, what's better than shit? Like anything is better than shit performance, when you think about it.
It'd be a good learning curve for Mason as well, because obviously Mason's the assistant, the first team coach and stuff. So if Mason makes the suggestion to Conte, look, maybe you should play Harry Winks, and then he plays Harry Winks, and then Winks plays badly, Conte can turn around and say to him, that's why you don't pick your friends.
I think that's also the other issue with Mason is that means more Dele Alli. It means more Dele Alli. It means more Harry Winks. Means more of a lot of the players that he played with and grew up with, and it's just and we all know that these players don't cut it, and that's also a bit of my worry. I just think he's just being in there. Maybe some have said he's just in there to basically just tell Levy whatever is going on, because he is a bit of a yes man. Or he's just
Conte's not though.
Yeah, but maybe he's just also in there just to maybe learn and just pick Conte's brain. But honestly, I don't really know what Mason really is there for. I really don't. Maybe it's just because he knows a lot of the youth players. But I don't know. I really don't. I don't really get it. But Nigel Gates, I mean, I don't know. With the hiring of Mason, I seriously don't get it. And, but I will say Conte seems to, have a liking towards Ndombele. Maybe this is Ndombele's final chance. He's been given so many chances, but maybe it's his final chance. He's given a new fitness coach. He's giving, honestly, the faith and trust from Conte, because I think Conte did want him in the last summer. So who knows? Maybe we might see Ndombele resurge again. You said Nuno, Josh. Well,
yeah, I know. I'm going to go wash my mouth out with soap in a minute. Don't worry.
But you were saying you give Nuno an unlimited budget. No,
do you know what it is? Because I gave David a grilling earlier on when he mentioned Nuno instead of Conte.
Here's go. Karma comes in many forms.
Comes full circle.
Conte karma, Nuno karma. Big yourself up there, Dark Sun G.
Just goes to show the Nuno parasite still rings true in people's minds.
Definitely so. I hope we can go for class players who are available with the boss man rules. Also, we need to finish deals with 2 players before the January window.
Yes.
I think we need more than 2 players in Dark Sun G, but we actually need maybe, Phil, what do you think? We also need players, though, that have the right mentality, players that actually can do, some sort of, switch easily into the Premier League, players that want it, players that are ready to go, players that, are able to come in and do a job right away. Also maybe what's important. Obviously, we want quality, but we also need players that, we know can handle Conte's, kind of regime.
Absolutely. And I think what Dartson G is saying there is you almost want to get the deals done early so that, like I was saying earlier, you can go 1st of January, we can go, right, whoever it is has been announced. So I think that's what he's talking about there. If you say we need to finish with the 2 players before the January, so that you have then they can come over and start work on whatever it is, the 1st or 2nd of January, right at the start of the month. Whereas if you wait till the 31st and then get the deal over the line at the end, which is what we do, you've wasted another 4 weeks of training time, embedding the philosophy, the mental state. But absolutely, again, you would hope that Conte is going to play a part in it, in that, when we approach a footballer and the club go, yes, we'll sell to you, that they have the conversation with Conte, and Conte can explain his philosophy and how he's going to get there, because everyone's philosophy is we'll win the league next year. How are you going to do that? That's a different story. They're going to do it by being fit, by being worked, by, all the things. And, if you go into it then with your eyes open, and I would bet any money that when Conte's talking to a player, he knows full well whether or not they're going to be up for what he's saying or whether they're not. So you could quite easily see the plug being pulled. Maybe if he'd spoken to Tanguy when he was at, what was it, Lyon, he might have come back and gone, yeah, I really want him, but mental state's not right. But then they might be able to put something in place. I don't know.
That's honestly the case, though, is because, Tanguy's probably the best example of that. It's just his mentality is just so dog shit, though, that, like, he has all the talent in the world, and we just know that it's just all messed up here, and it's just all wrong up there. And, like, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not there mentally, like, you can't really be consistent. And maybe Conte, what do you think, Josh? Could Conte be, like, he's the only man maybe left in the world that could probably get through to this guy?
Oh, 100%. Conte is if we do not win anything under Conte, we are never going to win anything under any other manager for at least the next 25, 30 years.
Until comes around.
Yeah, I mean, managers like Conte come once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
Like, players that can do what Conte does. He's a born winner. I don't want to keep repeating his stats, but we know what happened when he joined Juventus when they were 7th place, wins the league 3 times with them the following season. Then he goes away, wins the Premier League with Chelsea on his first season, leaves them, goes to Inter, ends the 9-year terror caused by Juventus, takes an Italian international team that didn't qualify through groups for 2 World Cups and takes them to the quarterfinals. Like, this is what Conte does. He turns players upside down. He turns teams upside down. He's a born winner with a winning mentality. And a lot of people were sitting there, like, a lot of people saying that we had the same with Jose Mourinho. The difference being is that Jose Mourinho was on the decline of his career. Conte has merely reached the peak.
He's also more of a modern football manager at the same
100%.
time. I think
he
Jose
knows the
has
modern
fallen
game.
out of the modern game, and Conte is very successful in the modern game. So I think that
Conte knows the modern game. This is Conte's game.
Also,
it's not good football. It's called Conte ball.
Also, as well, though, Conte has actually worked with teams and actually revitalized them. When you think about it, as well, like in the case of Inter Milan, he revitalized that team. They hadn't been in Champions League for about 10 seasons. They hadn't won the Scudetto, and I think around 10 seasons as well. They were on absolute free fall. He repaired them from that, was able to, lift them from the ashes, practically built, rebuild Rome in Milan. But in the case also of Chelsea, right? I mean, he picked them up from a horrible position in the league, a horrible state of, what people were thinking about the club and everything. He was able to give them that hope, give them that kind of trust again, give them that faith. And hopefully he might do that under Spurs. I would say Spurs, though, is probably the most difficult job, maybe of all those, probably the most difficult one. But, he's certainly is experienced in that regard.
Exactly. Neil Shafton as well. I just want to address it. Neil, I'm not giving I'm not giving Conte stick. I am fully behind Conte. I want Conte to succeed. I'm not against him at all. Stop misconstruing what I'm saying, please.
It's all right, though. I think Neil maybe just misheard it, but it's okay. But Dark Sun G, though, I mean, again, hopefully we get more than 2 players in, and we need players that have that boss man mentality, just like you said, and know the boss man rules, and also know that, everything Conte says is what goes. So big yourself up. And I really do hope that we just have some deals already lined up right away to be able to do, not even waiting till January 31st, but big yourself up. Dark Sun G, really do appreciate it. And he also says, I hope for Sula, De Vrij, Kessie, and Brozovic, Van de Beek as well. I would say in terms of Niklas Zula, I would absolutely take him. He's a bit injury prone, but I would say, especially in terms of like actual natural ball carrying center backs and very technically gifted center backs, he's actually a lot more technically gifted than people realize. He's actually very good on the ball. He's an absolute unit. If anybody's ever seen him before, I mean, the man honestly looks like he could run through 3 men and go through 3 brick walls at the same time. And he's honestly very intimidating as well. I mean, having him and Romero together would just be honestly incredible. They really would be. And then also De Vrij looked absolutely class in terms of his ball carrying ability. He's very composed on the ball. I'm not sure if he's Premier League ready just because he doesn't seem to be the most physical defenders. But at the same time, Conte really likes him and Conte trusts him. And I said I would go with what Conte wants and what he knows works. And then Kessie, I think we all know we need Kessie. I think that guy could really save this team. He really would. And then Brozovic could come in and probably to a degree kind of replace, Højbjerg when I think about it, Brozovic. He'd be able to probably play, the role that, Højbjerg is trying to do and probably play it better, even kind of play Skippy's role and even do it better as well. So Brozovic, I think all of those are great signings. Van de Beek, I think Van de Beek would actually be a brilliant replacement for either Gio or Tanguy. He's probably going to replace Gio before he replaces Tanguy. So he would be a brilliant replacement for Gio, I think, Van de Beek. I think he would.
It'd be a brilliant signing as well.
He's a brilliant signing. I just don't know if he fixes as many problems. I just don't know if Van de Beek fixes many problems. I think he would just be a big improvement.
He's wasted at United. He's wasted at United, and he's got a lot of energy, and he's raring to go. If anything, get Van de Beek in. How much did they pay for him? 40 million?
40, yeah.
And he's been sitting on the bench for near enough half the practically all season.
I think he would be able to. I was going to say, though, I think he would be able to replace Gio and at least do what Gio is trying to do, but if not better. The only thing I would say, though, is that we're trying to replace that Christian Eriksen kind of role. I don't think De Beek can really do that. But at the same time, like, I don't think Gio has ever been close to Christian Eriksen. So personally, I just feel like Van de Beek, he'd be a huge improvement on Gio. And then we still need to find that new Christian Eriksen in the team. But honestly, Zula, I would absolutely take. De Vrij, I would probably take. Kind of not so sure on him, but Brozovic, I would absolutely take. I think Brozovic, he's the tempo setter. He's the creator. He's the person that dictates the entire game, controls the game in the way that we want to. We really struggled at keeping possession. Someone like Brozovic could come into that team and just be able to ping balls left and right, control the possession, control the tempo, control the speed of the game, and just be absolutely brilliant. I love those signings, but any of those, maybe apart from Van de Beek, Phil, that maybe you'd be excited about, that maybe you know about?
The Van de Beek one, I'm not sure. He has. The thing is, he was all right at Ajax, but he's just not really done anything over there. The one for me out of those would be Kessie. Obviously, I've done a little bit of reading on him, and he just looks like a quality player. And I think that's what Dark Sun G was saying: is if we want him, we need to go and get him now, not wait till January till options are open and there's other possibilities or destinations that he may go to. But I think, he'd be a great signing for us and exactly what we need.
I think exactly what we need. Exactly right. But Dark Sun G, as always, really appreciate the support. Really big yourself up. And also Dark Sun G, like always, he's always trying to fix the problems. He's always coming up with solutions. And I really do appreciate that about you, Dark Sun G's. Big yourself up, my man. Nigel Gates saying there are a couple of players, Kessie, example, that are free transfers at the end of the season, but I'd see us pay a bit for them in January if we meant we got them right now. I think that's probably what we would have to do. Nigel Gates, probably for him not to go to teams like Bayern, for him not to go to maybe bigger teams, in world football. We probably would need to sign him in January for that 12 million, whatever fee that supposedly they might let him go for. There are also other players, I believe, at Lazio. There's a guy named Luis Felipe that's a center back there that I think is absolutely brilliant. We could get him from there on a free, I believe, as well. So we might just need to, just get them a bit earlier, kind of not wait till Christmas, basically, just, kind of wait, get the presents nice and early. But what do you think, Phil?
Well, I'm just thinking something like Kessie. Can you imagine if they announced on the 1st of January that we signed him for 12 million, which is probably way over the odds, but straight away, what is his value then if he signs on a 5-year deal? He's not worth 12 million then. He's 30, 40. So you've already made your money. So yeah, so it's well worth spending a little bit of money, to get it. Stuff in football world isn't free. It isn't cheap. It's expensive. And if you go for good players, you pay top price. And he's a great player that you don't, at this occasion, you don't have to. So go along to AC Milan and say to them, we'll give you 15 or something like that, because you have still got a mega bargain on your hand for a phenomenal player that will make a massive difference to our side, without a doubt.
I really do agree with that, actually. I really do agree with that. I think that's kind of the big difference is we've always settled for less, thinking that we could perform a miracle with something that was a bit less. But if we actually went for top proven quality players, you know what you're getting. You do know what you're getting. And that's maybe the difference between us and other clubs, in years past, is they paid that bit extra for what they knew was proven quality.
What we do know about Conte, though, on the other hand, is that he tends to go for players that have already got proven success. That he will go in for these 28, 29-year-olds that, like the Stefan de Vrij, or de Vrij, however you pronounce his name, and he'll bring players like that in. He won't bring in players for the future. He doesn't really develop youth. Kessie's 24 years old, already proven. So I mean, you think about it. If he's already proven now, and Conte's interested in him, imagine what he can be in 3 or 4 years down the line when he's in his peak, when he's in his prime. Just imagine what he could potentially achieve if he's doing what he's doing now.
Especially if he was, given all the responsibility that we're about to give him as well, he probably would actually cherish that. He wouldn't have to really compete for his, place as much, which I think is also, when I think about it, a bit enticing. But honestly,
I just don't want to get my hopes up with him.
Transfers we need to take advantage of. There are lots of free transfers we need to take advantage of. Just while quickly everybody's in here, before I maybe ask the guys maybe their final thoughts on the game and everything, this is Josh's channel, everybody. If you have enjoyed anything that Phil Latis and Josh have said, feel free to head on over there. It is Josh, the Tottenham guy. He's done, everything from kind of like players on where are they now kind of situation, maybe players that you've completely forgotten about, player profiles, yes. And then also as well, he's going to be doing a series with Phil Latis, with Dermot, which we're all very familiar with as well. And then also Chris, the comedian of the Harris Army. So Josh, maybe just a quick little plug before maybe I ask you, and Phil, maybe other thoughts on the game.
So he goes about, so what Jack's just said, he just rings completely true. It's everything that he's just said. Player profile series, he's over on that channel. We also do the 4 Hotspurs every Saturday as well. So every Friday at 8 p.m. Almost said Saturday. Every Friday at 8 p.m. we do the 4 Hotspurs, where we just talk about the week in football. There will be some other 4 Hotspurs shows that go up. Like there is talks of us doing one where we sit there and we do watch like old cup finals, like the 1991 FA Cup final between Tottenham and Nottingham Forest on the stream, and we just sit there and talk about how old school football used to be. So that's another series, but that'll probably be over on Tottenham Tantrum Gold, which is Dermot. I strongly recommend everyone go and watch him on there as well. But yeah, player profiles once a week. Normally, I do an episode on that. 4 Hotspurs is every Friday. Follow me on Twitter, Josh RG HD, and you'll be notified when I'm about to go live on there.
Big up, everybody. That is Josh's channel and that link down there. Please check them out, as you probably are seeing him a lot on this channel, as well as Phil Latis. So if you want to see more of them, head on over there. Nigel Gates, though, really big yourself up for the super chat, and it's a fantastic comment. As always, though, Dark Sun G with the brilliant comments as well. Big yourself up, Dark Sun G. But, Phil Latis, what do you think? Maybe who's your man of the match maybe first? And then also, would we have maybe lost this game if it were Nuno in charge?
Man of the match for me for Tottenham was Emerson. I think he's gone from strength to strength in that wing back role. He's now looking a really quality signing. With regards to would we have lost it, I don't know. I know we weren't as we wouldn't have been as confident. Still a little bit missing in the middle and the creative side today, but again, can't stress enough. It's his second game. So we know there's things there to fix, but it's onwards and upwards on the Conte train. That's really going to be my final comment because the game wasn't great. We all want more. We all wanted to win 3 or 4-0, and be coming home thinking that we're going to be challenged for the Premier League this season, but we're not. We're a little bit off that, but you would hope that him and Paratici are starting to do the nice early shopping list and away they go. And, like Darkson G said, hopefully there's a couple of signings coming very soon or that will be announced soon, but there'll definitely be some movement in January and, it can't happen quick enough.
Certainly can't happen quick enough. I really agree with that. But Darkson G is also saying here, he says, I want a backup for Son if possible, to be honest. Royale, man of the match. First, I would say, the backup for Sonny and Harry Kane for me is Cody Gakpo from PSV Eindhoven. I think the guy is absolutely brilliant. I think he's a fantastic footballer. He's also a Stephen Bergwijn replacement. He basically just replaces, or if not, is a perfect backup for basically the majority of that front line. That would be my answer, Darkson G. I know I've given that answer a million times, but it's because I do believe in him that much. I really sincerely do. And then also I am also Emerson Royale, man of the match. It's not like he did anything so spectacular, but I think compared to the rest of the team, he didn't really put a foot wrong. Really, he didn't really do anything that horrible, or didn't do anything to really hurt the team. And he also had some good moments as well, and also is very calm and composed on the ball. I will say, he puts very good passes into his teammates. I think his crossing ability could probably improve, but he does play it on the floor quite well. He's also knows how to get stuck in. I really agree with that. Darkson G, both of those statements I really do agree with. Josh, for you, man of the match. And also maybe to you as well. Would we have lost this game maybe if Nuno were in charge?
My man of the match was Emerson. If I have to give a man of the match, obviously I don't think
many to pick from.
Yeah, there's not many to pick from. And I think the person that really did have had a performance that shone out upon the rest was Emerson. Would we have lost that if it was Nuno? 100%. 100%. Like there's no if buts. We would have lost that 2 or 3-0. Like it's just there's no if buts or maybes about it. Like at least with Conte we've got the infrastructure and the skeleton of what could potentially be a world class squad later on down the line. I just want to touch on another replacement as well because I've been Jack will be happy to hear this, but I've been doing a little bit of research into a replacement CDM. If we don't get Kessie, Bruno Guimaraes, come on, mate, come on.
Man after my own heart. I think he honestly would get us in the top 4. I think he'd probably get us, that kind of, tempo setter. I think he's actually a better version of Brozovic, actually, as well. I know
I've been doing a lot of research into him because the amount of times you've spoken about him, I did a little bit of research into him, and he would be a great signing.
Even David even at one point said he's actually a version of Paul Scholes as well, which is also one of the highest compliments as well, when you think about it. But I think that's because his passing ability really is that ridiculous. I mean, again, everybody, I would check out that scout report on our second channel, flatcapeurotalk, because I really do think Bruno Guimaraes would fix a lot of those midfield problems that we are experiencing at the moment. But maybe going back to you, Josh, here, where did it all go wrong for us today? Like, what went wrong?
I just think Everton wanted it more, to be honest. Like, you have to remember as well, they're coming off of a three-game loss streak. We've got a new manager who's probably taken one coaching session that hasn't really been able to leave a monumental footprint on the team as well. And let's not forget as well, I mean, it might be me clutching at straws, but we have to remember as well, Everton are in the new stadium in a couple of years' time, and they're going to want to give Goodison Park something to remember. And if they get relegated this season and they get promoted the following season, it's not really something to remember. So they're going to want to try and achieve as much as they can before they leave Goodison Park. That's just that's the way I see it as well. Like, obviously, that's in the back of their minds that they're going to be playing at the Bramley Moore Port Stadium at some point. So that's obviously something that's going to ring true with them and the fans as well. The fans want them to succeed. The crowd was behind them today. We just didn't show up. But again, this is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time. International break for a couple of weeks. Hopefully, we can. The the players that need to be improved can improve, their fitness can improve, and we can come back against Leeds 10 times as strong.
Wow, well said, Josh. To you, Phil, I mean, what went wrong today? Maybe is it the formation? Is it, maybe the lineup, just the players in general? What do you feel like went wrong?
There certainly wasn't the passion or the commitment. It felt we were sluggish out of the blocks today. We didn't control midfield well enough, and we really just didn't create any chances. Son had one, Reguilon had one, which ideally they both would have taken, and it would have made the whole post-match very different. But it just felt overall we were just a little bit off the pace today. And I don't know if that's, struggling with all the new stuff that's going on. And we've talked, endlessly today about how much new stuff is going on, what he's got to fix. But there's a lot there. I would suspect the club is moving in the right direction. And ultimately, we didn't lose, okay? It's not the easiest place to go to Everton, but, we still picked up another point and a clean sheet,
It's a point gained rather than 2 points lost.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
because if we played Everton last week before he came in, I think you're right. I think we were dead men walking. So but it's the clean sheet as well. Whatever we say, if you don't concede goals, you don't lose football matches. Simple as that.
Yeah, you don't win them necessarily either. But there you go.
No, but if that's I'm sure there's loads that he's working on, but that would be my positives from today.
Come back to us in February, and then we can sit here and judge. I think
it all really is going to also, especially in February, considering that we're going to need a lot of people that basically are going to have to rescue the squad. I know Conte can only do so much, but we need a lot of players that need to come in to rescue that squad. And speaking of that, maybe just a bit of transition, everybody. This is our second channel, flatcapeurotalk. With that, you will find, basically a lot of answers to those questions. You'll find players that I feel like, be able to fix our problems, players that we're also supposedly going after. Again, I'm giving you basically a full scout report, stats, highlight reactions, my thoughts, as well as David's thoughts and other people's thoughts on those players. And you will be able to maybe get more of an insight on a lot of the players that we should be going after, and also some of the players that we are rumored to go after. So that is a quick little plug. Guys, international break is coming up. What are your thoughts? Like, is it going to be maybe big time for Conte to rebuild? And can he even rebuild, considering a lot of players will be out on international duty? What are your thoughts, Phil?
Yeah, again, it's tough times, isn't it? Because he's got no time with the players. Like you say, the majority of them will be gone tonight or tomorrow morning. So what he's left with is not enough to be able to do that. But what he's also then going to be left with is kind of the reserve players. So maybe it's their chance to get fit and show him what they've got, because there was a handful on the bench today that we're thinking is not going to happen. Dele Alli hasn't come close to it. Stephen Bergwijn hasn't come close to it. But there's a lot of other players now. Even Doherty's obviously had his chance now. So that's what he's got. He can only deliver what he's got, and if the players are there, then he can work them till work them like dogs. And obviously the rest of the squad's going to have to catch up when he comes back.
Josh, do you see us improving maybe after this international break? Maybe just, week by week, like someone said earlier, it's just going to continually kind of improve. Do you see it improving after international break at least a little bit?
I think it has to. I don't think there is any doubt about it. We need to improve. Yeah. But again, I'm not going to. I don't want to sit here and criticise the team just yet. We are going into an international break. It is going to be tough. We have got 8 games in December that we need to get through. Conte does need to lead training a little bit more. Let's just crack on and let's take one each day as it comes.
Take each day as it comes. It's going to be a bumpy ride, as someone said.
Yeah, exactly. If you think about what could potentially be happening between now and the beginning or the end of January, and you get disappointed, you're going to be upset. So just be a realistic Spurs fan. Just take each day as it comes, because we know what Spurs are like. We're up one day, we're up 1 minute, and then down the next, and then up and down and up and down. Let's just focus on what we need to focus on and stop worrying about what could potentially happen.
Some people, I feel like I completely agree with that. Some people are also maybe saying, this was, maybe a tougher fixture than maybe we're giving it credit for. Maybe under with these players in mind that we've been speaking about, maybe we're probably right. Maybe they're probably right. We don't even have maybe a quality enough players to really smash Everton in the way that we probably expect us to. So that also can be taken into consideration. But guys, maybe any final thoughts on the match before we end it off here? It's been
just
a bit of a
yeah,
Phil.
Harry Kane's just tweeted and just put tough game away from home, but could have done better in the final third and still more to improve on. Looking forward to the international break.
Of course he is, because he scores goals for England and not for Tottenham.
It's not really been scoring for England.
So obviously, there's no doubting, and he's tweeting a lot more now. But they're clear that they're not good enough in the final third, so they know what they've got to work on. So
yeah.
All right. My final thoughts. No matter who is the manager under any circumstances, I'm actually reading off from a tweet here, and I think it sums it up perfectly. No matter who the manager of Spurs is, Dyer, Davis, and Doherty cannot be on the pitch at the same time. Perfect. That's the best thing to take away from this. They cannot be on the pitch at the same time. Up the Spurs. Here we go.
Darks on G keeping us here, honestly, with a fantastic chat, and also a big one as well, saying, if I remember, Tuchel's first game was against Wolves, and that game, whoa, Darks on G, this is why you always outstat me. This is why you always outthink me. He says, if I remember, I'm going to read this again. If I remember, Tuchel's first game was against Wolves, and that game ended 0-0, so I'm pretty sure we will be improving slowly, and I expect at least 13 points for our next 5 games. I hope we can beat Liverpool, excuse me.
Dark Sun G, the prophet. He's got his crystal ball. He can read the future.
That guy has an impeccable memory and an impeccable stats mind, I will say. And to be honest, that's actually really well said. And if I remember even that game correctly, it's Chelsea did not rip up any trees when it, came up to that match as well. Actually, I think if I remember when Nuno was still in charge there, it felt like Nuno probably deserved the victory in that one, if I remember that game correctly. So it's, maybe we have to think, even with Tuchel, who's proven out to be one of the best managers in world football at the moment, still took him a bit of time. He wasn't able to build, Rome in a day either, and so even he couldn't turn also. He also has a lot of great players to work with over there, where Conte doesn't have nearly as good of players to work with. So we're probably just getting a bit ahead of ourselves, Dark Sun G. I love that optimism. Not even optimism. That's realism right there. And I actually really appreciate that. Really pick yourself up. I mean, what are your thoughts, Phil? I mean, isn't that maybe something we have to realize, is that he's only been here a week, even if that, and Tuchel couldn't even do it right away.
No, he's had 2 training sessions. We know he's one of the world's best managers, but not even he can turn this around in 2 training sessions. There's years of ingrained problems there that he's got to sift through, weed out, change the philosophy, change the mental state, and make a difference. Will he do it? Yes, he will. Will he do it with all the players that we've got now? Nope, because some of them won't make it. And that's what we've got to cling to, is we will be better. We will be challenging by the end of the season. And for next season, who knows where we could be.
Do you expect 13? That's a great comment, Phil. Do you expect 13 points in our next 5 games, Josh? I can read them out to you. I do feel like, if I remember, it's a pretty decent fixture list for us to actually go on.
If you read them out, and I'll just tell you how many points I expect.
Just a moment. I'm pretty sure Leeds are the next one, and then
3.
Norwich after, I believe.
3.
That's 6 points in a row there for you. Leeds, Burnley. So it goes Leeds, Burnley. Would you get
away? Is Leeds
away?
Leeds
Tottenham. We play Leeds at home. We play Burnley away.
That would be 1 point.
Tottenham against Brentford at home.
3 points.
3 points.
So we're at 7.
7.
And then Norwich against Spurs also at home.
Oh, that's easy. 3 points.
That's 10. Brighton against Spurs away.
1. That's a 1 pointer.
Okay, so that's 11. And then how many matches is that? 1, 2, 3,
that was
4, 5. So 11 is what Josh is going for. I'm with you, Dark Sun G. I'm expecting all 13 points. I'm expecting 13 points. Maybe the one that we drop points towards. Probably just Brighton.
I'm going to be bold and say
15.
I reckon 15 points.
That's
because
awesome.
by the time we come round to Brighton, they'll have been playing this way for 6 weeks. And the fitness level, we know what those fitness coaches are like. They're going to be trained like dogs. So I'm hoping and I'm predicting better things.
There you
So
go.
I'm just reading comments, and there's one person in particular that's just really rifling me up. I can't help it. I'm just
especially
getting
with a lot of people in the
screwy.
chat. You got to get used to it. It's all part of the game. It's all part.
Yeah,
of the
I know. But
Um,
normally I'd clap at people like this, and I'm trying not to.
But everybody, that is going to end it off for tonight, and that is going to end it off for today. David, again, he was just enjoying, a bit of the birthday, kind of dinner. I think it was just, mother was kind of, taking him out to eat, kind of giving him the birthday cake and everything. So he's just enjoying himself. Probably didn't enjoy this result, I would probably say, but he probably knows as well that it's a bumpy ride. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you've been new. And if also you've enjoyed this watch along, and also, we've been able to put in a good shift with Josh and Phil here. I think especially, Phil and I were in sync, the whole time, which was just absolute vibes, despite it not being, the best match to watch, certainly. But it's been a really nice time, honestly, for this one. Maybe apart from maybe the football was played. Please like and subscribe. And also as well, feel free to throw in a comment as well. Dave and I will be trying to put up that timer soon. It's just, we don't really have the most powerful computers or anything to do it. We don't have, a lot of tech, behind us. It is just us basically doing everything from, the thumbnails to, the research to the setting up of shows to the questions to everything. So please, give us some patience, and we will be able to improve, at least the timers and everything for these watch alongs. But like I said, at the end of the day, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, Spurs.
Conte we trust.
Come on, Tottenham.